to DAX Machina. Join us as we explore the mysteries of this world. Cryptids, monsters, macabre tales, and horror stories abound. Could they be true? Are monsters real?
Good evening, folks, and thank you for joining us for another edition of DAX Machina. Tonight is our 150th episode, and we want to say a big shout out and a thank you to everybody that helped make that possible. Everybody out there tonight in the DAX Machina Nation helped make this possible, and we are eternally grateful for you guys for coming into our lives and us allowing us to come into your homes and share a little time with you folks and just talk about cryptids and spooky stuff and everything in between. And we're really proud that we have come this far so quickly. So thank each and every one of you for making the 150th episode possible. We are going to have an awesome time tonight. Joining me tonight are my usual cohorts, Robbie Rip Taylor Rains, Anthony the Pitbull Canatella with his Steve Lilly teeth in. We got Kerry Pocket Doc Davis. Steve was unable to join us tonight. He's with family for the holidays. And we will hopefully we'll have a sighting of my son Noah sometime in the near future. But joining us for our 150th episode is my Lakota brother, William Nighthawk, and he's an amazing guy. He's a big friend of the channel. We are proud to have him. William, how the hell are you, brother?
I'm doing pretty good, DA. Doing pretty good. Glad to be here with you guys on 150th.
It's kind of a milestone. We're pretty happy about it.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Well, tonight we're going to be talking about Sasquatch behaviors, and not only behaviors that we know that they present, but some of the behaviors that we've speculated about. There's a lot of material for us to cover tonight, and I just want to kind of jump in with this. And take us off on the right foot, and we will attempt to stay mostly on topic. But one of the first things I wanted to talk about, one of the first behaviors, is something that Robbie had noticed as a young child that I happened to mention in one of my books. Hey, we got our first super chat from Tanya Willis. Hey, thank you so much. That is awesome. You are awesome. Thank you so much. But I want to talk about a lot of stuff that's been reported, and people see it all the time, especially from a distance if they're behind a tree, is Bigfoot swaying. Now we've seen this behavior in we got a Rip Taylor there doing it, but we've seen this behavior from reports. People that have had sightings have talked about it staying at a distance and kind of weaving in and out from behind the trees, and this is a common behavior among primates. Gorillas do it, chimps do it, which I find really fascinating because it's such a commonality among different species of primates, which would fit right in with a large upright walking primate here in North America. William, what do you think of it?
Well, nerves.
No, actually,
the whole. Well, I mean, anybody that's going to try and hide that big behind a tree is going to have to do something to kind of, make it look not as obvious. Tree peeking is specifically a trait of Sasquatch or Bigfoot, whatever you call them. It's a trait of every creature that does tree peeping. So it's not unconfined in the cryptid field. Mosquitoes. When you're carrying that amount of weight, I mean, we well over 500 pounds, 900 pounds, somewhere around there. You got to understand when you're dealing with that size, you're going to have to constantly probably move in order to keep your respiratory system functioning properly, and all that weight doesn't come down on your legs and your hips and stuff. So they might do it just out of being nervous or out of just being comfortable having to do it. So just instinct.
T. Willis's question: would like to hear your thoughts on the theory that some tree knock sounds could actually be vocalizations? I think it is. Mm-hmm. I've done it on the show before, but I can make a very loud pop with my tongue, and it can be heard for a long distance. I mean, I've been doing it for years. I learned to do it when I was a kid.
Aren't there tribes in Africa that do that with their mouths?
Yeah,
Well,
the tongue click.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I don't know where
and
I
that's
picked it
another
up.
thing too. Yeah, that's another thing too, though, DA and the guys, and family out there in the chat. You got to understand one thing, that Big run around with a baseball bat or a stick in the woods smacking on trees. He's really not. And
Right.
for us to go out and do that as investigators, is pretty much like a dinner bell, as far as I'm concerned. I know people up in Alaska that have done it, and specifically done it at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening when it's dark up there, and they have literally almost been torn to shreds. So, as far as tree knocking goes, to bring them in, all you're doing is letting every predator in the woods know, including man, know where at, is all you're doing.
Yeah.
So I don't think
do
tree knocking is
and
going
I
to
don't
be
do
a
vocalizations.
sustainable way of getting them to come in. Exactly.
That's why I don't do tree
Yep.
knocks or vocalizations, because you know what you're saying.
No. No.
But I do think it could be something they're doing with their mouth.
Fred said the same thing that William said. When when up in Alaska, they don't. Where he's from, same thing. They don't go out knocking on trees. I mean, they know that they're very
could be just
aggressive.
ringing the dinner bell.
Right, they're aggressive up there as hell. So,
well, we were talking a primate that could weigh as much as 1,200 pounds, 8-9 feet tall, and I'm 5'10" and 270, and I can make a hell of a noise. I mean, like this.
Yes, Fred. Hey, what's up, Fred? I just mentioned you.
Yeah,
Man.
hey, Fred. Yeah, and like you said, DA, man. I mean, or like Anthony was saying, that's like a turkey hunter using a mouth call. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's exactly what it is. They're going
exactly.
You using that mouth call, you do those clucks and pops, you're gonna bring them suckers in, man, and you may not want to get what's on the receiving end.
Well, it's something that a lot of hunters have reported about. Well, in my case, I had a deer kill stolen. A lot of hunters have reported getting their deer or moose or whatever they're shooting, getting it stolen. And I think some of these creatures have come to understand that, especially around hunting season, because the deer seem to know when hunting season is, because they will move from the deep forest up into conservation land. The deer herds will move as deer season approaches. So if a deer can figure that out, a large upright primate certainly could.
Yeah.
But if they know when these hunting seasons are, that gunshot's a dinner bell.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Well, it's been documented that sharks have learned the sound of a spear gun popping underwater. That brings them, because they know what that means.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When they spearfish,
Well, 5674 says bear know that a gunshot means food.
Yeah. And
that's a bear, not something with the brain capacity of a large primate.
William, this brings up a good point too. He said, Lurchlock said, I heard a couple reports the hunter saw a Big Harry hit a tree with his hand, and it sounded like wood on wood.
Well, imagine we hit with a hell of a lot of force.
Yeah, that's a lot of mass.
Well, they have what the rock,
you're talking you're talking
lacking,
a hand,
right? They have rock lacking, don't they?
You're talking a hand too, dog, the size of a baseball mitt. So the size of a baseball mitt, the side of a tree, from a 900 to a 1,200 pound, beak, gonna make a heck of a noise. So,
hey, William, do you think Bigfoot would eat hedge apples?
No, I really don't. The ones that I interact with, the ones that I interact with, growing up, was the main that they like to eat was basically the chestnuts, the grapes, the wild grapes, and anything else that was like berries, like the blueberries, the blackberries, that kind of stuff.
What about black walnuts?
Huckleberries, I haven't seen them actually do any black walnuts. That's going to be, and anyway, that probably is going to be more of like a winter type of a sustaining food, because the walnuts are going to last a lot longer than berries will. So But yeah, they can sustain themselves too on pine cone seeds. I mean, their diet is so versatile, that it actually puts ours to shame. I mean, why do you think they're so big and healthy, fast, and strong?
Yeah,
they get to eat a better diet than we do.
None of their food's processed.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. I'm looking at the comments, see what's up here. If anybody has any comments for William or any questions, please. Let's see. I guess no one. Everybody's still saying hello. All right. Everybody's still saying hello. Robbie, did you get your package? Are you talking about Robbie? Mr. Rains over here?
Steve's talking to me probably. I ain't got you yet, Steve, but maybe Monday.
And what package would that be, Robbie?
Be patches.
Oh,
Anthony.
Okay. I just figured you'd like to share with everyone.
Not a
sharing is caring,
And listen, if anybody has a drone that you want him to fly for you, he's your man right there.
Here we go.
Robbie's the man.
We're gonna give him a new name, Robbie Mad Dog Rains.
That's it.
Hey, Maverick, buddy.
Maverick. I don't know, man.
Hey, I was below the hard deck. Okay,
more like a lame colt, bud.
I was below the hard deck for not more than a minute.
Well, you definitely
shot. There was no danger.
I don't know. You was definitely danger close, dude.
Yeah, it was danger close.
It looked like the guy on Hot Shots Part 2, Goggle Eye or whatever it was.
Walleye.
Marty from Nana Boss, she had a good question. I put it up.
I'm not sure a whole lot about the autism theory.
I've heard stories, more than one, that they act almost, and they're attracted to kids and people that are autistic. Well, I've heard the stories.
So if somebody's on the spectrum, they're attracted to them.
A lot of the missing 411 cases involve people that are either on the spectrum or handicapped in some way.
Right. Like the one case, the one case that we had here in Florida. I don't know, maybe Marty knows the story, but I know DA knows it. Supposedly it happened here in Ocala. I don't know if it's true or not, but this woman had trouble with the Bigfoot coming around her house, and her son was autistic. And the only time it would actually get an amp up with activity is when she left the house and he was home by himself. And it would just go crazy, slapping on walls.
Maybe this is why. She said there's a theory that they display signs and traits of people on the spectrum. So maybe they relate. Maybe in some way. Maybe.
Well, it goes probably even more than that though, because you have people that are more tuned psychically to paranormal events that have better interaction with them also. Yes. So I think it's it's actually a vibrational level of frequency that they can connect to, that they know that they can basically get away with doing certain things and interacting with humans on a spectrum than others. They could perceive others as a threat. So
that's true. I mean, I don't know how true the story was, but that's what they reported. I mean, it would happen when she was there, but it would only do it by his bedroom window, his side of the wall of his bedroom. And it knew right away when the mother left the house, and she lived there with her son alone in the forest over here in Ocala.
Man.
And supposedly it was documented, I mean, I've seen the pictures, where the fence was ripped out. You could see where the fence was ripped out, the chain link fence. You could see certain things it did to the house, handprints on the side of the house. So who knows? We'll never know until somebody really, really gets into the study of it. I don't know.
Norman Meredith says the swaying could be either means.
I still say
if they stop swaying, they'd be harder to see.
Could be.
Yeah, I still say the swaying has to do with their body mass, and their joints and their legs and their hips and stuff and their knees and their ankles. Because when you're displaying 1,200 pounds of body mass down, I think they're just trying to be comfortable.
You think they're just trying to
they're constantly moving
redistribution of weight.
Yeah.
Well, they've noted that chimpanzees do it.
Yeah.
And they're a fraction of their weight.
Yeah, but when they get excited, they do that, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Yeah.
It might be a sign.
But their center of gravity is lower, though.
True.
That's very true. I mean, so, and as far as the eye shine, I mean, somebody mentioned that they was not on here, but I've heard it. There's a film over their eye, like a shark has, and it actually can lift. I heard that. I didn't know.
Like a nictating lens, like a crocodile.
Yeah, that's why they get the eye shine too a lot, and a lot of times you won't get eye shine. So
normally, eye shine is due to animals that see a lot better in the dark, though.
Right. Yeah. It's nocturnal.
The tapetum lucidum.
Yeah, they have a reflective part in the back of the eye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Something to do with the rods and the cones, right, Doc?
Yeah, it's called the tapetum lucidum. It's another layer of film over the retina, and it basically gives them night vision. So I mean, when my brother saw one down in Mississippi, it had an orange-red eye shine.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's over the retina, that's kind of indicative of, if you look in somebody's eyes with a otoscope or a ophthalmoscope, not otoscope, that's ear, but you'll see a red glow off the back to retina. Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean, even they even mentioned sometimes some have mentioned their hands look like chimpanzees, how their thumb turns inward instead of outward like ours.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Meldrum was talking about that, how their thumb and thumb to finger ratio was much different than would be typical for a human. That's why they've been described as throwing rocks underhanded instead of pitching them overhand like we would do, because of the way they have to grip the rock.
Yeah, I mean, and there's some people says they look, when you look at the handprints that you see on the windows and the side of the houses, they look just like a human hand when they slap it on there with mud or oil. And then you'll see some that you can actually see it turns inward. I don't know. Just like prints. Some of them have a genetic.
Well, and just like those people from close to where you live, DA, that kind of makes it easier for them to grasp limbs and get in trees.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, he did say that too. He says that don't count it out. Everybody says that they climb trees. Of course they do. How many accounts and stories have we heard of them being up in trees and no one looks up?
That's right.
That's why I always tell people to make sure you're looking up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Check this out, guys. This is kind of goes right along with what we're talking about. This is the morphology of a gorilla's hand and foot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's weird, man. That looks just like the handprints you would see on the side of a window or a car. I mean, just how that thumb it looks and the fingers, but
yeah. And Robbie, that's why it's good to have a drone up in the air so you can see them things in the trees, unless you're flying it. I'm just saying.
Always got in the bunch.
But hey,
crash.
When I spoke to Marty, which everybody doesn't know, it's Nanoboss. When she was out at that one area, I think she told me and Robbie and DA the story. When she was with her son Matt, they were throwing rocks at her. Remember when they were sitting out there in Palm Beach? So, and she just mentioned it. It was chipped one of the windshields. I mean, they'll come right into you where they were sitting, and mess with you. So I don't know. We'll find out, but I'm gonna go down there soon enough to meet up with her and Matt. Probably right after Christmas, and I'm gonna get some hopefully get some video and stuff.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Just don't get Robbie to fly the drone.
Because some, they do travel. They, mentioned about the trees and stuff. They do travel most of the time, either on all fours or in trees. That's why they're not seen as much. The reason they travel on all fours is because it's quicker and it's easier to maneuver and not be seen.
Very true.
So instead of being standing up and being 9 to 10 feet tall and walking through the woods on 2 legs. So, but yeah, the trees are definitely a point of traveling for them, just railroad tracks, power lines, streams and rivers, wherever they can get an easy way to walk or travel.
Well, and they say that, right? People say, "Oh, their footprints they say their footprints just disappear in the snow and mud." Oh, look, they're just gone, and they'll show you the track just ends.
Yeah.
Well, look up. Where are they going? They're hitting the trees to do what they need to do.
Right.
So, I mean, that's the best.
Northwood's had a good question. He said, "Would a lighter than air drone be a better option as it'd be quieter and more difficult to crash?" Yeah, but I don't know that any company that makes a dirigible mounted drone, you'd probably have to have a tethered weather balloon and attach a camera to it.
Yeah, wind currents. Wind currents. Yeah, but I mean, but I guarantee you, there's just like with other drones, there's probably operating restrictions.
Oh yeah.
Well, that because any excess wind or anything like that would play hell with that thing as far as navigation goes.
Yeah.
Richard
go Robbie off of a hot air balloon with a rope.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because out here, we have wind gusts up to 80 miles an hour. So,
what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, Marty, you can send it to me. I'll take a look at it. But
I'd like to see that because she said it chipped the windshield.
Yeah.
They have. Let me tell you, they've gotten the activity down there. I'm not going to disclose where it is. I know where it is. DA knows. Robbie, well, I don't know. Robbie, I think knows, but I know the area pretty well. But yeah, it's pretty active out there.
Cowboys 5 Rings brought up a really cool question, and I want to address this quickly. He says, "DA, you know much about the Anheuser-Busch factory having a video of Bigfoots eating the discarded beer mash in the garbage containers. Allegedly, the video content was confiscated by the U.S. government." I hadn't heard about them doing it directly at the Anheuser-Busch factory, but Anheuser-Busch donates the used mucilage, the used barley and grains. Mm-hmm. Once it's done, they've used it for the fermentation process. They give it to farmers, and there's a farmer down by Eminence who was feeding his cattle that and had a huge amount of Bigfoot activity coming around his cattle and basically chasing them away from that fermented grain.
Hey.
So yeah, I think if you could get a hold of a bunch of that fermented grain, you could probably draw them in.
I'm all about fermented grain. Just saying.
Well, we all like the fermentation of the grain.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, we do.
Corey Cole, they piss in the coolers.
They've known to steal mash out of moonshine stills.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They do. I know. I've heard stories of them messing with moonshiners up there, taking their mash and stuff.
I can see that.
Actually, one of them shot at one. I remember the story. I don't know where I heard it. I think it was on Dixie Cryptid.
Well, moonshiners, I think one of the outtake, if I remember correctly, I can't remember which group it was, but on one of the outtakes they were talking about. They never said. They just said that something was in the woods, and they assumed it was law enforcement, but it was law enforcement moving around without any kind of lights or anything like that.
Yeah, you're right. I did hear that. They didn't know what it was. They didn't know who it was, or somebody coming in messing with their stuff. And
yes, I think the exact. We don't know who or what it was, but it messed around around the camp all night.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that show.
There's the rock that Marty, the picture of the rock Marty just sent.
Jesus.
How big was that, Marty?
Is that hair? Is that a piece of hair on it?
Looks like it might be.
That's what she said. She said it had a clear hair follicle on it.
Yeah, you can see it's almost white.
That's a good sized rock too.
Yeah. How big is it? How big is it, Marty? Again? Size of what? 2 by 3. Damn. 2 inch by 3 inch? That's pretty big.
About that big.
For that to hit your windshield?
Yeah.
Yeah, she goes, it's completely clear.
The hair's completely clear. Exactly.
Yeah, thank you. Like we've all been saying.
Yeah, those clear hair follicles will pick up and redirect the color of the light around them.
Fiber
If they're
optic.
in among green plants, it'll redirect green light. And that, to me,
like,
that explains what the cloaking, how they can step into the bushes and just seem to disappear.
It's just like fiber optics. I mean,
Yeah,
you
or a
take
polar
piece
bear.
of, right, you take a piece of
Yeah,
fiber
they can-
optic strand, it'll do the
Yeah,
same
they-
thing. You put it behind something.
It's like multicam for cryptids.
Exactly. She goes, there's no polar bears in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got that right.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
can be
who knows?
standing right next to you and you wouldn't know it.
Mm-mm.
Y'all got everything in Florida.
No, we don't. We just don't have polar bears unless they're
You want
shaved
an
down.
entertaining time? Just Google Florida man.
Yeah, I was gonna say the most entertaining thing they got down there is Florida, man.
Yeah, I know. Okay, don't give us a bad rap. I
Y'all
know.
didn't have monkeys in Florida either until you went out and saw that island, right?
No, we got them here. I got them
Yeah.
by me. I
Well,
got
I'm saying.
monkeys by me. They're called Mayak monkeys. That's where they're by Silver Springs, and they actually traveled out. Man, they're all over the place now, over here in northern Florida. They're not, and they carry hepatitis C, everything. They tell you not even to get near them.
Got them
So-
big old danger noodles swimming around out there in the swamp.
No,
Nope.
they don't bother you. They
Angel
don't
Raven
bother you, man.
444 had a good comment. She said a moose can step into the forest right next to you and disappear as well. I was up in Glacier National Park back in 1991. Some buddies of mine and I went to a motorcycle trip, and they wanted to go up hike on a trail, and I didn't want to go with them. So I just stayed near our campsite, and I was sitting on a log, and you just get that weird feeling that something's watching you. And I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear like anything stomping through the woods or anything like that. But I turned around, and like 6 feet away was a freaking moose. And I just froze, and it just kind of looked at me and walked away. And I'm like, how did that big son of a bitch sneak up on me?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it did.
Dude,
Be
they're
glad.
They're
Yeah,
super quiet. We
be
encountered
glad.
encountered a couple of mesas up in Wind River Range up in Wyoming. We were backpacking up there, and they were like, we turned a corner on a trail, and there they were. So we went in reverse real quick because you don't mess around with mesas.
I hate to say
No.
this, but if Northwood's ex ever seen this show, man, she would sue the shit out of him for all the comments. I love him. He just
Richard
comes
Cox
up.
got in on the action. He says,
I
my
know.
ex could make my bank account cloak and disappear.
That's a good one.
Oh,
I can't. Oh, Jesus.
that's funny.
Oh, God.
But, I mean, look at how many animals in nature are designed to just disappear
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and hide in
deer.
plain sight.
Deer. I mean, you won't see a deer unless it moves, really. Come
I
on.
mean, look at a nope rope, a
Yeah.
danger noodle, Satan string, whatever you want to
Yeah.
call them. Snakes should have some of the best active camouflage out there, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you ever walked up on a copperhead and a pile of leaves,
Ugh.
you're
You'll
not
never
going to
see
see
it.
it until it
You'll
moves.
never see it, man. I actually stepped on one. I stepped on one when I was turkey hunting.
Yeah.
Dude,
Stepped right on
This-
one with my snake boots on.
Well, As
let's
good
stop
as
talking
good as
about snakes.
as good as Steve Irwin was when he was at Eglin Air Force Base in Florida. You were one I'm talking
Yeah.
about, right, Doc? When
Yeah,
he's sitting there-
I jumped into Duke Field down there. So yeah,
He's sitting there talking about it, and all of a sudden looks down, and there's one right between it. I
Right
mean, as
between his
good as he
legs.
is, and he squatted down right over top of that one. I mean,
woo. Mm. Yeah,
That's-
you don't want
that's
to
a
get
good way to
bit by
take a
nope
fang-
rope on a nope rope
That's a
on
good way to
apple
take a
bags
set
is
of
a bad
fangs to the no-no spot.
day. Yeah. Nope rope on apple bags a bad day, son. I don't care who you are. Ugh.
Marnie made a good point. She goes, "Thank goodness I'm not. Yeah, I don't have any of my ex's wife." That's nice.
Well, you know, the thing is with the camouflage on these things, how often, and we've said this in the past, how often, and William, I think you'll pick up on this, are they watching us without anybody being the wiser?
Yeah, he's right. Doc, you're absolutely right.
You know,
all the time.
Well,
you're in their home, brother. You're in their backyard. You know
how many times have I gone out hog hunting?
All the time. They know you're going to the woods before you do.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing with deer. I mean, every deer I've ever shot, the only reason I saw it is because it moved.
Yeah.
When it was sitting still, I never even saw it.
And with their sense of smell, their sense of stealth, everything like that, just like William just said, they know you're going to be there before you know you're there. So I don't know, man.
Yeah. You mean when I was out pig hunting and I seen mine that time? How many more times before that? And I was out there years hunting. I mean, never ran across anything like that. How many more? And stuff would happen in camp, like I told DA and Robbie and you guys. You know, we would just count it off the raccoons and whatever else, you know. But how many more times has it been around? You know, and Marty will tell you, when they hunt down there with swamp buggies, it gets crazy active. I mean, there's people shooting, running these things all over, and how I seen mine, that thing should have hightailed it out of the area, but it didn't. It just walked right nonchalantly right back into the palmettos, and that was it. I mean, you know, it like you said, Doc, they're probably, they know exactly what's going on. And even what William said, they know right before you even get, you know, when you pull in, they're like, oh, here we go, hunting season starting again. Time to hunker down.
Well, I think they've also got a very good perception to read your intention. Like my dog, for example, we had a guy come up to the door one day that was wanting to clean our carpets, which is pretty much, you know, a scam to get in the house to see what your valuables are. We don't ever let people like that in the house. But the dog went ape shit. But you know, then the pizza delivery guy shows up and he's just fine. Yeah, my same thing. You know, dogs can sense intent. I think Bigfoot is the same way. If you go in the woods and your plan is, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to shoot me a Sasquatch, you're never going to freaking see one. Well, it's like John's dog, my Uncle John's dog. I mean, that 120-pound pit bull. He loves everyone. And if for some reason, John's grandson will come in the house or just come near the prop right by the fence, and that dog's already bit him 3 times for no reason. Just doesn't like him, doesn't want him near the house, doesn't want him in the house. Doesn't trust him. Right. You know, I don't always trust people when they don't like somebody, but I always trust a dog when it doesn't like somebody.
Amen.
Yeah. Corey Cole has a good comment. He says, guys, I was laying on my back disassembling
a get a load of
compressor catwalk in Border, Texas, brushed the tumbleweeds away and was face-to-face upside down with a rattlesnake.
Why you want to do me like that, Corey? Dude.
That's an oh shit moment.
Dude. Yeah.
That is a brown pants moment.
Yes, I hate.
That's a bang your head on the underside of your transmission moment.
Because I learned I could run backwards on my ass cheeks that day.
Yep.
What are you doing? Butt walking myself out of here.
I am gaining locomotion through my gluteal muscles.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, William? You were gonna say something.
Oh, I was just gonna say that, you know, I know a buddy of mine that was out hunting one time, and he literally told me, he goes, Nighthawk, he says, I emptied my 30-30 out on the thing, you know, emptied it, you know, all the rounds I had, and it didn't do nothing to it. It just turned and walked away. So we go back out to the site where he saw it, and on the ground laid every ejected shell not fired that he had in his rifle.
So
the thing made him think that he got fired at it.
He got bug fever.
All he did,
Yep.
All he did was fan it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. And that's not the only story we've heard. People doing that. You know, supposedly a guy hit it with a 45-70 3 times, and the thing just turned around and rolled, got up, and walked away. It's like, really?
Okay, I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all this real quick. A buddy of mine sent me a picture from Pig Hunt the other day, and he shot a boar at 100 yards with 180 grain core lock 308.
I've done it.
You know where that 180 grain bullet was lodged? A half inch into the gristle plate on its shoulder.
Yeah, I did it. I blew a leg off of one, and the thing ran.
Out.
Yeah, it ran away. I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
Could not find it. I hit that thing at 50 yards with a 308 ballistic tip. Blew its leg off, and it kept running. I was like, hello.
It hit that ballistic plate. He had a picture of it mushroomed out a half inch into that ballistic plate. So what do you think a 1,200-pound animal is going to do if you hit it with a freaking 30-30 or a 5.56 or something like that? That's just what pisses off.
It was like that old boy that they found in a grizzly bear's stomach up in Alaska, in Denali. He'd shot a grizzly bear 6 times in the chest with a 38 caliber revolver. And when they found the guy and finally killed the bear, they found the dude and his pistol in the bear's stomach, and the slugs were embedded in the bear's sternum.
Yeah, it didn't even go penetrate because of the fat. I seen that one.
If you're going to go hiking in bear territory and all you're taking is a 38, you might as well save a bullet for yourself.
Yeah, amen to that. You better bend over and kiss your butt goodbye.
Yeah, Linda.
That's like a starter pistol against a grizzly bear.
Ain't that the truth?
Linda comments, she goes, wow, you would think a 308 would actually put a pig down. It does. If you don't hit it in the chest plate, it's called the shield. Yep. You hit it in the shield, you better be lucky to crack that shield and penetrate it. Most likely when you do go pig hunting, right behind the ear, you aim for, or right in the ear socket, and you'll drop it right there.
Right in the brain pan.
Everybody says, "Oh, put it behind their leg." Well, you can.
Yeah.
I mean, but I always do it behind the ear now. I don't even go down behind the leg anymore.
Yep.
Mondoc says that happens a lot in warfare. There are records indicating that guys stuffed multiple unfired rounds in a musket.
Absolutely.
That's what they call the fog of war.
Yeah, there was a guy wrote books. God, I can't remember his name. I'm blank now. But he said they did a cross section of a musket barrel, and there were 12 balls and patches jammed down where they had ramrodded in and thought they had fired. It's buck fever, but with people, right. And the thing is, man, like you and I talked about, DA, we've all talked about it on the show. That's a hominid, and I would be, I don't know, man, unless it was my life in danger. That to me, that'd be like murder. You know what I mean?
Well, you got to be conditioned, too, Doc.
Yeah, I do not want to be the guy that brings one down. That is never my plan. No. That is never even on my mind when I go out in the woods.
No, me either.
The only way I will engage one is in defense of my own life or others.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Well, you guys know that. Robbie knows that. You have to be conditioned. If you're conditioned and you're used to handling a firearm all the time, okay, it should be like second nature to you, just like it is for Doc, me, DA, Robbie. Yeah. When you carry it, you train with it, everything, even a rifle. I mean, how many accounts out in Afghanistan and Iraq have they shot insurgents with a 5.56, and that's what they were complaining about? These guys weren't going down. Whatever they were hopped up on, I mean, still, you get that buck fever.
Well, it's the reason the 1911 was invented, because the war in the Philippines, the standard sidearm for officers was a 38 revolver, and it wasn't even slowing these guys down because they were on, I think, opium. It was, I don't remember exactly, but they would come charging out of the woods, and these guys would empty a 6-arm revolver into them, and it would do nothing. So they introduced the 1911, and it suddenly started knocking people down. I don't care if you can feel it or not; it's still going to knock you down.
Yeah. Well, it's just like overseas, man. What you're alluding to there, Anthony, was they were hitting guys with 62 grain M855 penetrator rounds, and the dudes are so thin. The people they were shooting were so thin. The round had not had a chance to do its.
Oh no! It didn't even flower out. Right.
Destabilization. Plus, they were hopped up on EpiPens. They would find caches of EpiPens, and these dudes before a firefight would pop, several EpiPens, and so
with
they're
the adrenaline. They'd be all hyped out on adrenaline.
Absolutely.
Well, they're not. Their goal is not to stay alive. Their goal is to take as many of us with them. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, David Grossman. That's it, Colonel David Grossman. Thanks, Mondoc. Appreciate it.
Mondoc says, I worked with a guy who was going to Alaska and wanted to take his 22 for protection in case of bears. He looked horrified when I asked him if it was for him or shooting someone else in the knee.
Yeah. Or shoot his partner. Yeah, should we shoot you in the leg?
Yeah, because the 22 is not going to do anything but piss a bear off. Tanya Willis has a good question for William. She said, William, from your numerous interactions and experiences with these beings, what would you say are the most important things to keep in mind when having an encounter or seeking?
First thing is to stay calm, take any aggressive movement, and pretty much don't make eye contact. They say it's an old Native American thing. They say when we make eye contact before we do anything and act in any way, it makes some kind of like almost like a brotherly psychic link to where they'll know where you're at all the time. Now that's just, legend. Okay. It's not proven fact, but I have heard cases of them following people all around the place. The best thing to do when you come up on a Sasquatch, Bigfoot, heck, even Dogman, is not to be aggressive, because that's the first thing they're looking for. They're looking for to see if you're going to be aggressive towards them, and then they're going to go in defense mode, and it's not going to be. So most of my interactions, I had a couple of them that were due to hunting that were kind of questionable in nature with them getting upset, but it was as I was chasing their. So it's like you're going in their house and you're taking food off of their table. How would we like it? So that's pretty much the way I look at it.
So
they belong out there in the woods. They belong out there in the mountains. And my people learned to live with them, plain and simple. You can live with them. You don't have to be hateful and want to kill them. So,
right.
Well, that's like that story.
A perfect example of that, William, is the Lakota word for Bigfoot. It doesn't mean monster or creature or enemy. It means big elder brother.
So,
I think that's a great way to look at it.
So, William, do you think if somebody looks them in the eye that they might take that as a challenge, somewhat?
Well, if you look a dog in the eye, if you don't know it, the dog will take it as a challenge.
So it's like a subconscious challenge thing. Okay.
I think that works with pretty much any predator.
Yeah.
If you come nose to nose with a grizzly bear, if you stare it in the eye, it's probably going to take it as defiance. Best thing to do is not make eye contact with any big predator and just start backing away. Like in that video with that guy that was being stalked by the mountain lion.
Yep.
He was still trying to back away and everything, and it kept coming. And multiple warning rounds didn't deter it. So if one of them really wants you, it's going to come after you. However, if you're doing anything that it can take as like engaging a predator response, if you turn and run from a pack of wolves, they are going to chase you down and eat you.
Okay, so some things say look as small as possible. Some things look as big as possible. What's the response?
Well, that obviously you're not going to be any bigger than, you don't want to make yourself big.
Right.
You don't want to stick around. You don't want to run, because as soon as you run, you're prey.
Right.
So you just basically your ground, be respectful, and back off, like DA said. The reason that young man didn't get attacked by the mountain lion, he didn't turn and run.
Yeah.
When you
lions will attack you more 90% of the time. Exactly.
Well, that's why most of those tribesmen in India,
it's
where there's
the same theory with any predator.
Most of the people in India that are primarily get attacked by tigers, they'll wear masks on the back of their head, so it never looks like, because tigers typically attack from behind, so they'll wear masks on the back of their head to make it always look like they're facing.
Of Corey had a good question for William.
My
Corey
first couple
William, do you believe in
encounters.
calmly speaking? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, my first couple encounters with them, I basically looked down at the ground and I spoke to them softly, saying, you know, I'm not here to harm you in any way. I don't mean any disrespect. You know, I'm just here to, you know, do what I want to do without any harm to the environment and stuff. Basically, they're going to know that anyways from your vibrations. I really am a firm believer that when they sense that you're there, they can sense just like dogs do about people, you know, the same thing, you know. So yes, speaking to them calmly, you know, will definitely help. Now, there's been some questions too about gifting. Typically when we gift, we don't gift them anything more than that they would help them or give them more respect amongst their peers. I gift hawk feathers, all kinds of feathers, turkey feathers, you know, you name it. I'll gift like intricate things that I make, whether it's braided buckskin or you know, intertwined, you know, some kind of like a wooden hooped dream catcher, you know, something along that lines, you know, that they would be able to utilize, you know, in their life, you know. Sometimes they wear it in their hair. Sometimes they just, you know, they just keep them. You know, you're going to have your good and your bad too. You're going to have your ones that are going to have bad days and stuff. Think about what happens to us when we get a toothache. We don't want to be around anybody or talk to anybody. We just want to get the damn thing pulled. So,
right.
You know, that's the same kind of mentality we're dealing with them. You know, they're going to have their good and their bad days. In their backyard, in their kitchen, in their living room and family room, stomping around, you know, leaving beer cans everywhere and shooting off rifles. How are they going to react? You know, they're going to react harshly. So, and, you know, gifting them, you know, you can gift them fruit and stuff like that they can eat. But I've heard people giving them donuts and bacon and all kinds of stuff. Pizza. Yeah. It's like gifting. You don't want to gift that to a bear because a bear's going to start to think, well, hey, this is better than what I normally eat. So I'm going to follow the humans around, you know?
True.
So don't, you know?
Creeper Scripted in Paranormal Corner says, if you had a close encounter with a Bigfoot and thought it was going to attack, do you think dropping to your knee and raising your hand like gorillas do?
That's a sign of respect. When you're looking down at the ground on your knees and holding out your hand, that's the way you can give them your scent, you know, and show them but you're going to know what their intent is from the way you feel, because they're gonna make it known. They're going to make it known whether they know you're there just to have a good time and not harm anything, or whether you're there to take their game. So it just depends on the whole situation. There's so many variables that are involved when you have an encounter.
Little Patty wanted to know, William, how big was the one you had encounters with?
Oh God. Well, well, hold on one second, okay?
Marty said, check your.
Yeah, I just got it loaded. This is what she was gifted in return.
Yeah, I think that's by her office where she works. I think she.
Rabbit's been torn in half.
Yeah.
Dang.
That's really nice, Clark.
Yeah.
That's a quality product.
This is a 3D cast that I made of one that I interacted with a lot. It was over 9 feet tall, and it was every bit of about 900 pounds at least. And it was literally built like the freaking Hulk. I mean, it was huge. So, but as you can see, you see the head turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You see how the head turns?
Into
just
the
like
shoulder.
the Patterson-Gimlin film. You know,
Right,
Yep.
like Robbie
it turns
said. Robbie
a
said,
certain way. Yeah. You know, and it's an instinctive, you know, walk too. When they raise their feet up and they raise the front part of the foot up and lay the pad down first and then the toes. Yeah, that was about 9.5 feet tall. And the other one that I saw was about 8 feet tall, and I believe it was a female because it had a young one up in a tree that it was playing with until I. So.
Yeah, Marty said she thinks that was a marriage proposal from the big guy, sending her a dead rabbit and stuff.
Watches a courting.
Yeah.
Well, and something else too, William, on as far as the, you know, kneeling down, bowing your head in respect and everything like that, holding your hand up, could they not also smell the fear pheromones coming off of someone as well and know that they're not a threat? It's just a fear thing.
Oh yeah.
Richie Evans
if you
says,
shit your pants too. I mean, it's just, you know.
Yeah, you definitely. They're going to smell that.
Definitely
pheromone,
smell that
that.
fear pheromone.
Yeah.
What's that smell?
Richie Evans says, are Dogman pack animals or loners? Kind of off topic, but I think they're.
I would
think they're
imagine
pack
it would
animals.
depend on. Yeah, I think that they hunt in packs, but there have been a lot of instances where they've been seen by themselves too, though. So yeah, it might be somebody that challenged for that lost, they got kicked out of the pack, or it could be just some other male wants to go out on its own and try to get its own together. So, but yeah, I think that they travel for the most part in a pack. But I wouldn't say the pack is as big as like regular wolves, like 12 to 14 per pack. I think it would be more on the lines like 4 or 5, like you. So, but that's just a guess. So,
Judy, I'm about 60,000 words into the new project. It's codename Wild Hunt Death and Die Outlaw Pass. I guess I can go ahead and say this on the air now that I'm kind of past it. I ran into an issue with the medication they put me on with my back, and it was causing basically brain fog. I couldn't concentrate. I was forgetting things, and it really kind of screwed my writing schedule and tore my writing up for about 2 months. This book should have been done a month and a half ago, but it's not quite done. I am going to do my best to try to have it out before Christmas. I've already got the back cover blurb written, and Adam, my cover guy, is already working on cover concepts. So really, it's just a matter of finishing the manuscript, getting it run through the alphas, and getting the edits done. So I'll keep my fingers crossed. I can't say for sure, but I want to have it out for Christmas, but it might be a little after.
Yeah, I hadn't had too many "Hey, fuck, are you awake?" texts.
Well, you did get a couple panicked, Hey, dude, I'm having fucking problems with my memory. What's going on?
Exactly. Yeah.
Do I have early onset Alzheimer's here or something?
Yeah. Exactly.
It was really concerning me for quite some time, but it is getting better. They changed my medication up. It doesn't do as much to help my back pain as it was doing, but at least I can remember stuff now.
Yeah.
That's good.
Richie, honestly, I don't know. I don't know if Dogman's in Florida. They say they are, but not by me. I don't think they're by me in Ocala over here in the
if you go to the North American Dogman Project website, there are a couple accounts from Florida, but I believe they're in the Panhandle.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I
believe
think they're
Marty
down here.
had a few encounters though, hadn't she?
Yeah, she said she had one down in Palm Beach County. Yeah, so. Yep. Everybody can't wait for the book to come out. Everybody can't wait for the new book. Believe me, I can't either.
Nope, me either.
So.
Me neither.
Yep. What else? I'm looking for questions. I'm looking for questions. What's her name had a good question. T had a good question about their weight being up in a tree. Given their general weight and mass, how likely? Well, that would be for
Depends on the tree.
Yeah.
And some of the, like down in Florida, you get those big cypress trees. They can hold a lot of weight.
Yeah, and they're like concrete. You ever try to cut into a cypress tree? Yeah,
Well,
it's impossible.
Well, and most trees up top are going to be green, so they're going to be a lot more bendable than low, where the thickness of them are, especially in the Northwest area and the mid-state region, like around DA and all that in Missouri. The reason being is because they can take that, they can almost do like a springboard action from tree to tree. So
yeah,
it would be easier to travel.
That video. I've seen somebody showed it. I've seen it on YouTube. Somebody actually caught an infant doing that off of a branch to another tree.
I think they use trees quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
Linda Bergman says, I've heard reports they've been crossing southern borders and were attacking people. We get a lot of Dogman sighting reports out of Border Patrol and people that live near the border along Arizona, New Mexico, and California.
Well, but Jesus said there's a video that was taken down. Remember that one with the game? The Border Patrol guy had it on night vision.
Yeah,
it was running across the desert, and they caught it. They caught it on a FLIR system. And they took it down. So, yeah, they're pretty, that's scary shit, man. I'm sorry. Like running into a werewolf out there.
How bad do you really want to cross the border?
Yeah. And if you're a Border Patrol, you're really going to confront, I mean, really, you're going to be like, oh, well.
They're not really armored or equipped to deal with something like that.
Yeah, not unless I got a Mod Deuce in my freaking truck.
No, plus you got to deal with the cartels over there and everything else, the mule, the coyotes, and it's like, come on, man. They're running people across the border and you got to deal with Dogman now. That's crazy. Nuts. I'm looking for questions because I keep missing them. I'm scanning through. So if I missed a question,
we're coming up on the top of the first hour. If you guys want to grab a quick coffee break or hit the bathroom, I'm going to take a quick minute to talk about the affiliate program with Scallywag Tactical and Dark Angel. Nice. So if you guys want to take a quick stretch your legs, go to the bathroom, I'm going to take about a minute and a half to discuss this.
Okay, we're all ears.
All right. Well, folks, if you are not familiar, we are an affiliate with the Scallywag Tactical. If you use the code discount code DA Roberts 10 and follow the link at the bottom there, or simply go to scallywagtactical.com and use the DA Roberts 10 code at your checkout, you can get 10% off your order. And right now they have a massive sale going on with what they refer to as blemished blades. The two I ordered from the blemished blades, the only thing wrong with them was there was damage to the shipping box. Because all the Scallywag tactical blades come in their own box. The bigger blades come in one that's got a cut out foam piece where the blade sets in so it's protected. And the two I ordered that were like that, or that were blemishes, the only thing wrong was the outer box was crushed, like on a corner. But the knife was perfect. I mean, there's nothing wrong at all with my dew claw, but I got it on a scratch indent. So you can get some humongous deals on scratch and dented blades. And there's none of them are dented because it's hardened steel, but you look at the blemished blades and you can still apply the 10% discount. So head over to Scallywag Tactical. They have got some amazing blades over there. You are definitely going to like them. These are amazing, wonderful blades that hold an edge like no other knife I've got. And I've got almost all of their folders. They just released 2 brand new folders that came out this week. And I will be getting those as soon as I can because they are just freaking awesome. One of them is called the Razorback, and I really want that one. That one looks pretty rugged and be a great folding knife to take camping. So check that out. Go over to scallywagtactical.com, and again, don't forget to use the discount code DA Roberts 10 for 10% off your order. And we are now an affiliate with Dark Angel Medical. Can't believe we didn't have this program set up a long time ago, but it's just something we just got started. Pocket Doc here is the El Presidente for life. But if you go over to darkangelmedical.com, or if you use this link, it's I shortened the link through tiny URL. I'm sure Tombstone or one of the other mods is putting it up in chat as we speak. If you use that link and then use the code cryptid25 for 25% off your order, that is the biggest discount code that Dark Angel Medical gives, and it is exclusively for the DAX Machination. So make sure you go over there, tell them who sent you, and when you go to check out, if you get one of the new spear kits or possibly even one of the dark kits, if you mention Team Odin or codename Wild Hunt, you can get that little Team Odin rocker above the medical sign, the plus symbol, the red cross, the cross. There we go. Again, go over to I don't know what I'm saying. I'm crazy. But go over to darkangelmedical.com, show those folks some love, and make sure you check out Dark Angel's YouTube channel, because they got some fantastic videos that'll teach you some of the basics. And if you want to learn more than just a few nuts and bolts, like how to apply a tourniquet or basic first aid, you need to book one of their classes, because they are outstanding. And one of the things that sets Dark Angel apart from a lot of the other medical companies out there, and I've had some crappy kits in my career, and the reason why I will always go back to Dark Angel and count on them for saving my ass is because they have the kit for life guarantee. If you use that kit to save a life, including your own, they will resupply that kit for free. Everything you use, they will replace. And how many lives have you guys saved now, Doc?
157.
157 people still drawing breath because of Dark Angel kits. They're the best kits in the business. DarkAngelMedical.com, or do you use that link there below and use discount code Cryptid25. You will not regret it.
And to Linda Bergman, yes, I was in the military. I was a flight medic. So, yep.
He's a man nurse.
Man nurse.
A very hot man nurse.
Well, thank you very much, Helpy Helperton.
Yeah.
He's a cute little guy.
Just precious.
None of us want to know if we're going to the conference in Florida.
That is the plan. I'm going to get with Anthony this week, and we are going to book our table. We're going to get a good sized table. We're going to have signage there. You'll probably see us either wearing DAX Machina t-shirts or Scallywag Tactical t-shirts, or even Dark Angel Medical t-shirts. We'll have a mix of the ones there. We're going to try to have Doc there at the table too. So
Doc is coming. He's coming.
It is.
I wouldn't worry about it.
We're going to try to have the whole DAX crew there, as well as the books.
We're going to have to call Angie up personally and talk to her. Like, hey, you need to get him here. Get him here now. Yeah. But yeah, that's the plan. We are talking about it. It's 90% yes. 90. God forbid something happens, knock on wood, it doesn't, everybody's healthy, then yeah. But yes, we'll be there. So
Steve Patton says, one thing is for certain, clothing will be worn. Yeah, at the event, yes. And we can't guarantee what's going to go on afterwards.
Right.
I may have a kilt on, so that's kind of partial.
It's going to be held, Mike Simpson, it's going to be held in Ocala. Well, outside of Ocala. It's still part of Marion County. It's in their equestrian center.
Doc, if I had a kilt, I'd join you.
Brand new facility. It's massive. It's beautiful there. It's the biggest conference in the United States. The last one was held in Lakeland, and DA looked at the pictures. And how packed was it, DA?
Oh, it was absolutely packed.
Wall to wall. So, yeah, it was just nuts. Were you a PJ in the military?
No. My eyes suck too bad, man. I passed all the tests except for the eyes. So I had
and the height requirement.
Yeah. I had to opt for flight medic, but I was airborne. I was on the liaison team, the 82nd Airborne, and some of the special operations units at Fort Bragg.
Now, Doc, if you do show up at the conference, are you bringing some of your medical kits to sell?
I will.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
I know that we were talking about maybe some of the knives. You're going to talk to maybe Scallywag, maybe have some of the knives to sell too.
I was talking to Craig Burhart, the owner of Scallywag Tactical. I was talking to him earlier today. He told me to hit him up in January after the holidays and everything. He said because right now they're dealing with shipping out everything that they're trying to get to people before Christmas. He said right now we are just slam busy. Get back with me in January and we'll see what we can make happen.
And DA will have all his books there.
Yes,
so
I will.
Everybody line up and get some of those books signed and buy them.
And we will also have patches on the table, not just the Team Odin patch. We're hoping to have a couple others done by then as well.
Nice. Yeah, Robbie's coming, right? Robbie, you're coming down. Yeah, Robbie will be there. I'll be there.
Yeah, I've got the time off, so I'm good
Uncle
to go.
John
there.
will be there. Doc, most 90% sure he's coming.
Yep.
But yeah, that should be a hoot and a holler time, man. It's only one day, too, people. It's Saturday, not Sunday. It's only one day. So
we will announce on the Teespring store. We are going to have DAX Machina shirts that are going to be available before then. If you guys want to pick up a DAX Machina shirt, but the DAX Machina crew will be there. The books will be there. Scallywag, we will be repping Scallywag, and Dark Angel Medical will be there. So it's going to be a hell of a good time.
Yes.
What's the dates again? What's the dates again, DA?
What's that?
What's the dates again?
When is
April 20. Hold on.
It's the last weekend in April, is it not?
Yeah, I sent it
so.
to you, Doc. It's April 24th, I think. I'm not sure.
Steve Patton says at the DAX Machina podcast, if Doc shows up, you'll have to put a balloon on him so he doesn't get lost in the crowd.
Yeah.
You're funny, Steve. You're funny.
Yeah, Uncle John will be there too. Everybody will see Uncle John there. You'll get to meet the infamous Uncle John. And if you want a picture with him, it's $20 with the picture with Uncle John.
And he'll wear the wig.
He'll wear the blonde wig. He's going to be pissed at me because he's in chat right now. He's in private chat. I don't know how he's in private chat if he's not even on. He is on here, but he's not connected.
Is Mikey
DA or Anthony, throw the dates up on chat, man. So because it had
April. Here it is, April 22nd. Marty said. That's where it's going to be.
Yeah, that's like that's the next to last weekend in April. So it's the third weekend in April.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to have a big area. 200 square foot? Hopefully. That's what
we're shooting for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we're talking about.
We're going to have to get it soon before they sell out. I am going to post the link to the conference itself. The link I just posted in the conference is where you can pick up your tickets in advance. Mm-hmm. Again, it's going to be a one-day event. There will be accommodations all around the area, plus restaurants and a good time. And it might even be a semi-private group gathering after. So we'll see what's going on.
She's going to pay for that photo. Uncle John, you got your first photo with Marty. Oh God, yeah. So hopefully everything will work out and we'll get there, and we'll have a good time. And then we're going to do some special activities afterwards at night, out in the woods. Hopefully,
may or may not involve certain beverages.
Yeah. So we'll see. We haven't decided yet if we're going to stay overnight out in the woods or what. Uncle John says, "Thanks, guys. You're a hoot." Yeah.
We love you, Uncle John.
Oh, but yeah, I'm looking forward to the conference. It's going to be fun. It's going to be some good times.
I think we talked about coming down a day or two early just so we could.
Yeah. I want to camp out. Like I said, I want to go out to that one area out there and camp out overnight. See if we could get anything on film, all of us or whatever. But yeah, I think we'll have a good time. Real good time.
So, William, do you think we could get some medicine bags made up for that?
Well, I think I got some made up. I still have DAs here. I'm trying to mail everything together. So there's DAs.
Ooh, that is awesome.
That'd be awesome.
All hand
dude,
done.
I love that.
We can use all the good medicine we can get, brother. That's
you betcha. Sure. Speaking of medicine bags, that is a great segue into something else I wanted to talk about Bigfoot behaviors. One of the things that people have noted is not only rock formations, but stick formations and what do they call those? Tree
structures.
Tree structures. I've been talking to a couple people through private chats and people I know. It got brought up in a conversation between me and a buddy of mine, but then I kind of reached out to a couple other people, and we've noticed something that may be possibly a new behavior. Some of the areas where there have been found to be the trees bent over and tied in arches, guess what we found in abundance nearby? Medicinal plants.
Funny you said that, because I just watched the podcast tonight. Well, the story about the Steve Lilly thing with the marijuana fields.
Mm-hmm.
Funny you said that. And then the story with the growers out in California.
Yeah,
they were having problems. Yeah, that's funny you said that, man.
Well, some of the plants that had been stripped were red spruce. And red spruce has a great amount of medicinal properties. It's good for joint pain. It's good for headaches. Yeah. It's good for nausea. The bark and the nettles of red spruce have dozens of medical applications. And on several places here in Missouri where they found these tree structures where they're bent over, there are tons of red spruce saplings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it acts like an aspirin almost, right? It's like a form of an aspirin.
And it'll help aid with indigestion.
Right.
If you look up the healing properties of red spruce, there's like a dozen things it helps with. One of it is joint pain, which could be fantastic for an older Bigfoot because those joints are carrying a lot of weight.
It's got a natural non-steroidal in it, and so
same with your willows.
Yep, mm-hmm. Same with the willows. Salicylic acid. Same thing as aspirin.
Yeah. They said
that's something William and I discussed about a couple of times. It was talking about different plants that had medicinal properties. And when I first started digging into local plants that had medicinal properties, I was doing it to look for more homeopathic methods because I hate taking medication. I hate taking chemicals. I was looking for things that might help, alleviate my high blood pressure, might help with the joint pain in my lower back. I was looking for things that could, could ease the burden without me being on more chemicals. And when I started asking around to some of these people I know, one of the things we noted was in some of these areas where these plants are growing, we're finding tree formations.
Yep.
That's big. I mean, they were using one of my buddies that I used to hunt with, man, was Seminole Indian, and he said if you use the leaves from a Melaleuca tree, because they're all over South Florida and West Palm Beach, most all over there, the mosquitoes, it's a mosquito repellent, the oil from it. That's what I was trying to figure out a couple of weeks ago. I was telling DA you can use, I couldn't think of the name, it's a Melaleuca tree. Yeah, they brought them in to dry up the wetlands, and they just took off like wildfire, the trees.
Well, and I'm sure Nighthawk will agree on this, Anthony. If it grows from the dirt, it ain't gonna hurt.
True.
It's like DA says. It's not processed. And every ailment we suffer from in existence, it grows from Mother Earth.
Right. 100%. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I totally agree.
A lot of the water sightings. A lot of the water sightings where you'll see a lot of water sightings of Sasquatch and Bigfoot, all that is you're going to find out there's going to be a lot of cattails around and a lot of willows because that's cattails. Cattails are medicinal. It's incredible what they can do. I mean, they're edible.
Yeah, you can eat the root. I know that.
You can sustain yourself with all kinds of medicinal purposes for them. Yeah. So, but there's all the water sightings that you encounter them with. It's because there is a food source there too, and herbs that they can use to heal themselves.
Yeah, I don't think it's a coincidence that we're seeing some of these archway formations near large patches of these medicinal plants. I don't think it's a coincidence.
No, I agree. I totally agree on that. I mean, that's
And
just
with
crazy.
a lot of researchers that are in the field that have reported these tree formations and stick formations. I'm not trying to cast shade on anybody or talk bad about anybody, but a lot of people that are seeing these tree formations may not know a lot about the indigenous plants.
Well, there's basically a pharmaceutical, or a pharmacy, however you want to look at it.
Right.
Anytime you go out in the woods, if you know what you're doing, you can survive.
Yep,
And,
absolutely.
you know,
And these guys are the ultimate survivors, man. I mean, and they know what helps, what hurts, what gives them nutrition, all the above. They're the ultimate, homeopathic machines. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love watching those old movies when they show you the
about
Indian,
the hundreds of thousands.
They show you the Indians putting the medicine on people.
Yeah, think about the hundreds of thousands of years, though. Yeah, think about the hundreds of thousands of years that they traded with, indigenous cultures around the whole area of North America and South America. We learned from them and they learned from us. They learned how to do their structures and what plants and stuff to use for certain things. And we did the same learned from them just as much.
Yeah.
So that was all part and along, and that's why they had a kind of a reverence for native people.
Yeah.
But you, like I said, you got your ones that are just nasty, and Fred up in Alaska can tell you firsthand how nasty they can be. So, it just depends.
I think William froze up.
Well, his volume, his audio's in and out.
Well, if I remember correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, William, but cedar branches, if you use it in bedding, it's a natural insect repellent too.
Yeah, it keeps away. Yeah, it does. Even here in Florida, that's what they use around the houses.
That's why what my wife refers to as a hope chest that a lot of women keep, or the boxes that they used to put at the foot of beds were made out of cedar because they could put wedding dresses or family heirlooms in there, and bugs wouldn't get anywhere near them because of the cedar. I think we lost.
Yeah, we lost William. Hold on. Uncle John wants to say hello to everyone, so he just walked in. Hold on. I put the headset on. Say hello.
Good night, Lene. Thank
Say
you
hello.
for being here.
Hello, all you magnificent bastards. How you doing?
Hey, Uncle John.
What's up, Uncle John?
You guys being all right?
Oh, we're hanging on.
All right, I'm going to shoot my computer now, so if you hear a loud bang, you'll know what it was. See y'all later.
Later, Uncle John.
I heard seeing your comments in there.
I know, I got to put in.
And I think we lost William there.
Yeah, I think we did too. He was kind of freezing up there for a second.
Why? Was it just his? Was that his phone or his computer?
I think it was his computer.
Oh.
Maybe he'll be back.
Yeah, you can use
Werewolf 5674 says steer clear of belladonna and castor seeds. I read somewhere, and I don't think it was belladonna. I think it was aconite, what they call wolfsbane, that they were using. I believe it was aconite. It might have been belladonna, that the government had been experimenting with taking extracts from one of the two and making it into eye drops to improve night vision in soldiers. And supposedly, I want to say it was aconite instead of belladonna, but it might have been belladonna. But one of the two was showing remarkable results in improving night vision.
That's weird. That stuff, I know.
Care to elaborate on that one?
I have no idea about that, man. About the night vision effects on belladonna.
I read the article a couple of years back, and I wish I remember where I read it, but it was somebody was talking about a study that was done by, I want to say, DARPA, in using an extract oil from either belladonna or wolfsbane to try to improve night vision.
I can't honestly see it being belladonna, because that will that's like a lot of doctors issue or prescribe Donatol. That's from belladonna. It's atropine. It's an anticholinergic, so it'll make the pupils actually constrict.
Yeah.
Versus
Versus right?
Yeah, and so it can cause blurred vision and all kind of crap like that. So it might be. What was the other one you're talking about, DA?
I think it was aconite. It might have been wolves. What they call wolves' bane. William, if you can get signal back, jump on in anytime. We're probably not going to stop anytime soon. We're kind of on a roll.
That's wolfsbane. Yeah.
Tanya Willis says probably belladonna. They used it in Victorian times to enlarge pupils for beauty enhancement.
That's weird.
Yeah, I can't remember. God, it's been a long time since I read that article, and it just kind of popped into my head.
Ozark Mountain Sasquatch mentioned this too to you, DA.
What's that? Oh, cut out the high fructose corn syrup. It causes 3 to 4 of the symptoms you mentioned in me. It's in everything. You're right. I cut soda out. I don't drink soda anymore. If I do have a soda on occasion, it's usually like Jones Soda uses pure cane sugar when they make their soda. So I'll have a Jones once in a while. Mostly I just drink tea and water anymore, and coffee. But yeah, my youngest son Noah cut high fructose corn syrup out of his diet and noticed a huge change, and I think I'm gonna start doing the same thing.
I'm looking. Wolfsbane is a similar amount. Okay, smaller amount.
Northwood says, isn't atropine a nerve agent antidote? Yes, it is. Atropine auto injectors.
Yeah, it's a nerve agent antidote. My bad. Yeah, because a symptom of nerve, of like tearing, sabin, stuff like that, makes the pupils constrict. That makes them enlarge. So I had it totally reversed. So yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I didn't. That's all Chinese to me, man. Sorry.
If we get a place out in the country like I'm hoping, just here and there, 66 says wolfsbane in small amounts can be helpful. If we get a place out in the country like I'm hoping we can here in the next couple of years, if we're out in the woods like I want, I'm going to plant aconite around the house, because if it's wolfsbane, hopefully it'll keep Dogman away as well.
Well, they say that's the plant that what? Isn't that the plant that keeps away Bigfoot? Isn't that the
aconite?
One
Aconite's poisonous.
Yeah, I think that's
it's what they call wolfsbane.
Wolfsbane is what keeps werewolves away.
Yeah, I know exactly what that is too. I mean, that's.
It's got a really pretty blue flower on it.
Yeah.
Just don't touch it with your bare hands and touch your mouth.
Oh no, you'll be in some mucho pain, man. I can tell you that.
Wasn't that the same? Like the German SS, they had to climb that mountain. Was it Edelweiss? Isn't that the same thing?
Edelweiss is a small white flower that grows in the snow.
It's on those mountains, and it was like if you climbed up there and you picked the Edelweiss because it grew at a certain altitude, it showed you were a true warrior. You had it in your button, your lapel, your buttonhole.
Something like the Batman movie. There you go.
Yeah.
Where he was, We're not getting back into the movies. Don't worry about it.
Northwood says heavy artillery will also keep Dogman away.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's a little difficult to own a 155. Not impossible, but the ammo's high.
Yeah. Yeah, it's most of the stuff. Yeah, like you were saying, that cedar and cypress. Well, the cedar they use around the houses for mulch. When you buy a new house here in Florida, especially around here, actually keep spiders, roaches, anything away from around the house.
Someone was suggesting alternatives for sweeteners. I'm going to primarily start sweetening stuff with locally grown honey. There's a place just down the street from the house that sells locally sourced honey, and I've been putting it in hot tea for the last year or so. I'll drink a lot of green tea when I don't feel good, and it helps me sleep and helps me relax. And all I put in is natural honey.
And if you use honey from your local areas, it'll help your allergies to the plants in those local areas too.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
because it's pollinated with from those local plants.
Even if you put honey on a cut, am I correct, Doc? A cut?
Yeah.
Honey's the only food that never goes bad.
Yeah, because the bacteria will attack the sugars in the honey versus than a good flesh. They've actually they've been using honey for thousands of years for wound treatment.
They found honey jars in some of the pharaohs' tombs that was still good. They thought it was probably still safe to eat. I don't know that I would have wanted to try 2,000-year-old honey, but maybe.
I'd try it.
Yeah, what the hell?
Why not?
I mean, that'd be cool as hell to do.
Be a good way to go out.
Yeah, honey on burns. Yeah, I've seen that too. People put honey on burns, skin burns and stuff.
Honey and
my grandma always said put mustard on burns.
Yeah. Honey and what is it? Silver is another one. There have been
colloidal silver.
Yeah, colloidal silver.
Yeah.
Reduces scarring, increases healing time. It's tremendous.
Well, they tell you to take that when you're getting a cold, right? Colloidal silver.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What's his name mentioned that? Mark Napier mentioned that.
Just don't take too much of it; you'll turn blue like a Smurf.
Yeah. That one guy did. Remember on what was it on TV on the news, right? That one guy, wasn't he on the news? He took so much of it, he looked like a Smurf.
He did. He legit looked like a freaking Smurf, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Corey Cole said silver sulfidine. Yes, silver sulfidine or Silvadine, they call it, is the the brand name. It's good it's great for burns. Just be careful if you have a sulfa allergy, then that's a no go because it is a sulfa based medication. And then Manuka, Tombstone talking about Manuka. That's down in Australia. That is great healing properties.
Angel Raven 444 says, if I was out in the wilderness, I'd like DA to reason with Bigfoot, Doc to document and film it, Anthony to shoot it, and Robbie to display it and make money.
Because I have a face for radio? Is that what you're saying? Oh, man.
3D Havoc says, Doc ordered some Dark Angel medical gear and used the Wild Hunt. Hopefully get him by next week and can't wait.
I hope so, man. Cannon's been working his butt off. I was just teaching a class the last couple of days up in Boulder. So hopefully he got it out. If you got a shipping notification, otherwise I'll be working on your kit on Monday.
Well, yeah, explain to everybody why, too. I mean, he's not a big business. Doc runs it. And his wife helps out. I mean, they kill themselves on it too. So
we have 2 people in the shop full time.
Right.
So, and when I'm not there, we have 1 people in the shop.
Right.
So it's
one people's.
Believe me. Yeah, if he could, he'd have 15 to 20 people working it. But yeah.
Amen to that, man. Yeah, amen to that. Werewolf, what did you say? You said what hold did you say? I don't know what you're talking about. What hold? Send me a clarifying question on that, and we'll try to get to you. Yeah, man. I mean, here's the thing, man. Aloe vera, honey, all that stuff. I mean, hell, even Napoleon, his surgeons used sugar.
Yeah, sugar was a big thing
for wound treatment. Yeah, back in the day.
Well, when the IVs, right? Didn't they make their own IV with the sugar?
And they would put it on open wounds. They didn't have IV therapy back then, but they put it on open wounds. But I mean, you think about it, a sugar cured ham or a honey cured ham, a salt cured ham. It's all bacteriostatic. What's the bacteria hit? Not the ham. It hits the other stuff.
Right. You could actually. How long can you leave it out?
Hit it on the head.
Yeah.
The logic train derailed.
Big time. Dude, we're
DA started that. DA started that with all the herbs and everything else.
Well, I was talking about it as a behavior. I didn't know we were going. We were going to go off the rails with it.
Damn it, Bobby.
Yeah.
Well, hey, people are learning, and that's why folks show up.
It's a very learned environment.
Yeah.
Hey, I will contest to this, man, and John will tell you the same thing. When my mom had cancer, my parents were very old school Italians. Didn't believe in taking painkillers, nothing like that. And I forced her to take marijuana when she had cancer, and it cured her.
Absolutely.
It cured her. She had stage 4 colon cancer, my mother, and she survived. And to this day, I'll swear by it, man. I mean, it cured my mother.
It has anti-carcinogenic properties, man. 100%.
Yeah, she was totally against it, and she would smoke it with her little vape pen every day. When she went back to the doctor couldn't find a trace of it in her system.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
What happened to DA now?
I don't know, man. But I can guarantee you this, man. All the stuff we've been talking about, man. You know, and if DA was here and Nighthawk was here, I guarantee you they'd agree with it. The cryptids, the Bigfoot, you know, they're more sentient than people think they are. I guarantee you they use all the same herbs and everything that we're talking about.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean,
For wound treatment. You know,
I know you and I have talked about it, Anthony. The stories that people have talked about, especially up in California with all the pot fields up there, that they are harassed continually by Bigfoot up there. I mean, whether that's true or not, who knows? But you know that is like, it's not like it's just one story. I mean, that is a continual thing that you hear up there, is that they're constantly, you know, having Bigfoot on their property.
And it's not even that. They're missing product.
Yeah.
Too. They'll go into a field to clear it. I mean, they've actually interviewed the sheriff's department, and they said that they were getting, a lot of their stuff was getting, you know, ripped off. And they thought it was the locals doing it, and they can't catch anybody on game cams. They just noticed that the stuff is coming up. You're talking 100 acres of marijuana buds disappearing like it's nothing.
Dude, it's so healing. I mean, the thing about it is, I mean, you know, it's great if you got THC and CBD together, they work synergistically. Right. And so inflammation, neurological defects, you know, anxiety, I mean, all kinds of stuff like that. So, I mean, why wouldn't they use it if it's there?
Right.
I mean, that's a really available source for them. They don't have to go searching for it. You know, it's grown.
Look at that one video. Did you guys ever? I don't know if you guys ever seen it. Not to get off topic. That one boy that had the seizures. He had seizures so bad, and his mother was a doctor, and she basically illegally was buying the oil for her son.
Jacob's oil.
Yeah.
Jacob's
remember
oil.
that?
Yep.
And it cured this kid, and he's still alive to this day, if I'm not mistaken. He was having grand mal seizures. This kid.
He was having upwards of 100 or more seizures a day, and he went down to like maybe a couple a day.
Yeah.
You know? I mean,
and she begged the doctors, begged them to give him the oil from the cannabis, and they said, "Oh no, we can't do that." And she was buying it illegally, giving it to her son underneath his tongue, and he was on video. I watched the video. I mean, the kid couldn't even go in the pool.
Yeah.
Couldn't even leave his couch, this kid.
I guarantee you, these critters know what's up, man. I mean, they're old school. They've been here a long time. And just like the indigenous tribes, you know, in America, the originals, they know what works, what grows from the earth, and they'll use it for medicinal purposes for themselves and those around them. I mean, I believe, and DA, I mean, I don't know if you and I've talked about this. I believe they have their own shamans within their tribes.
I agree. I have been saying that for a while.
I think so. I think so.
Well, you know, humans love to think that we know all there is to know and that we're the smartest, and but anything we think we know about, especially about wilderness, outdoor survival, and all that kind of stuff, we don't even know a quarter of what they know.
Right.
Because it's like they're born into it. You know, they do it.
Well, that's one of the things I've been saying about Native American culture. We need to pay far more attention to the herbal remedies that the Native Americans used, because how many actual medicines have come from some of these herbal remedies?
Absolutely, 100%.
And that could be why people are coming up missing from these things. They smoke a little bit and they're getting the munchies, just like Pork and Bean said. Yeah. You never know, man.
So
look, you bag of onions.
So if
he said it. He said it right here. Bigfoot.
Taco Bell and Cheetos out after him, and you're good to go. So,
why do you think he's doing all the beef jerky commercials? Come on, man. I don't know. Oh God!
I'm surprised we ain't seen more Bigfoot sightings up in Boulder. I don't know, man.
Yeah, exactly. You know? That's a good one too. He's sending pictures to you, DA.
Okay. Awesome. I appreciate you guys covering for me. I had a situation to resolve involving excessive hydration.
Yeah, I wasn't going to mention it on the show, but yeah.
I think you guys can read between the lines and know what that is. But
I like, where the hell did he go? All of a sudden you were gone. Then I looked at private chat. I was like, oh, okay, I got it.
well, I was about to declare a code yellow, so I had to take off.
We kept it going.
Yeah. Just like, don't eat yellow snow, people, this year. Please,
right.
don't do
That's
it.
right.
It's not a snow
Linda
cone.
Bergman says I use 800 milligrams of cumin, or is it cumin? Cumin for
Cumin.
inflammation and arthritis.
Yeah, cumin is great. Cumin, turmeric. I mean, all that stuff is absolutely
I started
fantastic.
cooking with a lot of turmeric and cumin.
Yeah, it's good for you, man. Really
Yeah, I
good.
use 800 milligrams of ibuprofen sometimes. That's all.
I'm gonna tell you all this off the rail, off the topics. 5,000 international units of vitamin D every day.
Oh, I got
least.
a whole bunch. Yeah.
At least.
Really?
Yeah, at least. We're all deficient in vitamin D, I guarantee you. So 5,000 international units of vitamin D, bioavailable, not just the stuff you're going to poop out. Make sure it's bioavailable vitamin D.
So like what, in pill form, it's okay?
Yeah, you can get it in pill form. Yeah. So, yeah, we're all about that. So we're all deficient in that. But I guarantee you, these cats, as old as they are, as long as they've been around, they know that. They're well accustomed to that stuff. So they get the nutrients they need, and it ain't processed bullcrap from, other processors.
Well, how many? Well, look at what back in the 50s and 40s. How many ailments compared nowadays to all the foods that we eat?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude, you go over to Scotland, the eggs are in the middle of the aisle. They ain't in a refrigerated case.
Mm-hmm.
They don't allow the GMO bull crap. They don't allow all the pesticides and crap like we do here. So, I mean, and I would honestly venture to say that the Sasquatch probably ventures away from that stuff too, because they can tell probably what's good and what's not. If we could do some more in-depth research, I'd be interested to say to see what organic farms get hit with this stuff with no pesticides, things like that, versus the ones with massive amounts of pesticides, because they're going to say, hey, that's a food source, but is it a viable food source?
Well, it's like with DA, and we were talking about that when you have a mini farm or a mini garden, like my grandparents did it upstate, they would plant vegetables past their garden so the deer wouldn't bother what was growing in their main garden.
Daddy did the same thing. He planted a corn patch for the deer,
right?
Alfalfa, Australian snow peas, and clover just for the deer.
Right.
Plus they gave us some big old fat deer we could pop every fall too.
And then, even the rabbits. My grandfather would trap rabbits and shoot rabbits, man. He loved rabbit, man, being from the old country.
And don't you think the Sasquatch knows that stuff?
Oh, of course.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Corey Cole says coyotes here in southwest Oklahoma won't eat a vaccinated dead calf.
That's pretty interesting. That is.
That's pretty interesting for sure.
They know, man. They know.
Yeah.
William sent me some pictures. I think you guys are gonna find pretty interesting. He didn't tell me what the story is behind these pictures. I'm assuming this is Native American art, but one of them is a picture, and it's kind of an interesting picture.
Hello. Is that one standing above the trees?
That's kind of what it looks like.
Holy shit snacks.
Bro, that's pretty.
I don't know the origin of this picture. I can't tell you anything about the veracity or the authenticity of this picture. William just sent it to me without any explanation, but if that's a legit picture, that's a big son of a gun.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's like damn King Kong, man.
No kidding.
Those have to be small trees, man.
Yeah.
Because
he also sent some Native American artwork.
Yeah, we talk about perspective here, man, because that's.
Take a look at this. This is, I believe, this is Native American artwork. Again, he didn't give me any origin or any story behind these pictures. He just sent them over.
That's bro. That just freaked me out. That is almost exactly the face of the one I seen. Almost just the way it looks. Aborigine and Native American.
Well, then you're going to love this one.
Bro, that's it. That's almost exactly what I seen. That's crazy.
These pictures are amazing. Look at
I
this
got
one.
chills. Look at it. I got my hair is standing up on my arms, man. Yeah.
And this is the last one.
Bro, that's exactly the same facial structure.
So
These are amazing images.
That's totally different than what I saw, though.
What did you really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man, that looked like put light gray skin on that and have hair all around it. And that's exactly. That's weird. That is friggin' weird.
Those are some great images. I wish William could get back on and tell us more about those images.
Yeah.
Again, I've got no context on these. I don't know any of the origins on any of these.
Chills just seeing that. I actually still have the chills just looking at that.
And they're multiplying.
Okay.
Shape up.
You better shape up. Yeah. Because I need a man. Not me. I don't need a man.
He went there.
You put in the Steve Lilly teeth, you might get one.
Yeah. Newton John, hottest thing to come out of Australia.
Yeah.
God rest her soul.
Yeah, that was that was a shame that she passed. So anyway, yeah, that's exactly what I seen out there, man. That face, the same structure, man, that's weird.
Again, I've got no context on any of those images, but those are very, very similar to a lot of the descriptions I've been told by people that have had sightings. And for Anthony to have that visceral of a reaction is pretty freaking awesome.
Well, yeah, and Marty's seen one out there too. Marty, yeah, there she is. The second one looks like the one I see. See, even Marty, and that's where my sighting was, is where she had hers almost.
Oh, this one,
area,
Marty?
The same area. And you're talking years and years apart. Yeah, I think she's laughing at me because I was singing.
That was like a real hairy rock.
Yeah, but it was more Native. Put it like this: it was like a cross between Native American and Aborigine from Australia. Just that flat nose and that
wide
big round,
wide cheeks,
and a light gray skin. And I mean, I could see the face really, really good when I was looking through the scope, but that's the
Northwoods has an awesome point. There's no way I could pull the trigger on something look like those pictures.
No, even when I see
and that is exactly why so many hunters I've talked to said it looked too human. There was no way I was going to shoot it.
See, even Marty said it had gray skin. Hers had gray skin too.
But I think in the cases of the missing 411, the hunters, my personal theory is the missing 411 hunters took the shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had my scope on it, man. I had a 308. I had my scope right on it when I looked at it. So I don't know how you could shoot something that looks that human. I couldn't, unless it was a threat. And it wasn't a threat. You know, it was
but
just
I also think
there.
On the other end of the spectrum, there are some that are very animalistic, especially the gut way.
Yeah, they've known what the pictures. People have pictures of them being very ape-looking, almost.
That's why I think there's more than one type.
Mm-hmm. Mine was definitely more ape-like. There was
Rip, you're frozen up there, buddy.
Yep, I know. I was just trying to find a picture on there. So
you look pissed off.
Yeah. Look like somebody just stole a bunch of cows from off of the ranch.
It looks like somebody's fixing to go to the train station.
Yeah. Yeah, Marty said the same thing. She goes, yes, it looks human. Yeah, it does. Here goes to the dating shit.
Sick 'em, mods. Sick 'em.
Get 'em.
Club them like a harp seal.
That's messed up.
That's bad. I'm sorry.
No, we don't do that, people.
See, no, definitely not. That was a joke. That was just a bad taste joke.
Well, and Angie and I were talking about this earlier tonight. We were talking about different types of the critters up there. I think they're like, you look at different tribes of Native Americans. Some are more violent, some are more nomadic. Farming things, agrarian, in nature. And
Right.
it's like the Apaches. People are like, oh, the Apaches are vicious. Dude, the Apaches hated the Comanches because they were like Comanches were like, I would say, what we'd think is the Gugway of Sasquatch. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like I said to Morty a couple of nights ago when she was texting, we were talking about, certain shows and stuff. You're not going to go walk through Washington Heights in New York City at 12:30 at night,
right?
And then supposedly getting to the other side of the corner. Certain areas, it's the same thing with Bigfoot. You're going to go through their area, and there's going to be a clan that's going to be violent, and a clan that's going to be real nice.
Yeah,
that's how it is.
Northwoods has got a good comment here. He says any of the types of dogmen are a different story, though. As far as shooting one, I figure if I ever have to shoot a cryptid in defense, it's going to be a dogman because they're always
getting the bees. They're getting the bees for sure. It's going to be a full mag dump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that? Oh, the seal thing. Yeah, I knew that was going to get it. Yeah. Oh, boy.
Yeah, I think everybody's recruiter straight up lied to him. And now I froze up.
Oh, boy.
I guess
something's going around, boys.
StreamYard for the win.
No, I know who did it. It's William Nighthawk. Every time he comes on this show, it screws up the system.
The damn satellite.
That's what it is.
Am I still going?
Yeah, you're going.
Yeah. Thank you, Elon. Starlink.
Yeah. Now DA looks like he's all froze up.
He looks like he's trying to take a poop.
I know, I was gonna say that, but
you're gonna lose me. Give me just a minute.
Oh, just me and Doc holding the show. Don't worry about it.
We're good, man.
We'll sing a melody. Anybody want to hear us sing? Everybody. I can't.
You guys still hear me?
Yeah.
All right, give me just a second. I've got to go in and actually manually shut down OBS.
I can go play a piano interlude for us.
Naomi says she thinks it's her. Every time she gets on a few minutes, the guys start having issues.
Dang it, Naomi.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. What were we talking about?
I have no idea.
I forgot. Not babies. Yeah, something. The pictures. Yeah. The one guy, even Fred's picture, when he drew it, that's the same thing Fred's seen on. It's same look, same facial that's in Alaska. The one that was peeking in the window at him. That's the crazy part.
But those were pretty aggressive. They were very aggressive towards them, were they not?
Yeah, very. Then I was just didn't, not just one time either. He has numerous stories that he tells about them being aggressive. No sound.
It freaking worked.
There it goes. But numerous stories on his podcast about Alaska, about all the incidents in Alaska. They're always very, very not violent. I wouldn't say violent, but yeah, some of them were violent.
Yeah.
But you don't hear about here in the States too much. There's Robbie. There's Rip.
Oh, there she is.
Robbie Rip Reigns. He's back.
Yeah, Tomb. I'd only tickle the ivories if it was like a utmost emergency, brother. So.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard anything that bad here in Florida, really, about them being violent.
Yeah.
Texas, they seem violent, somewhat, but Alaska takes the case.
Oh, they're definitely far more aggressive up in Alaska.
Yeah.
The Alaskan Triangle alone, 66,000 people have gone missing in the last 30 years.
Well, I mean, look at Prince Edward Island, man. That's
that's
a hotbed up there in Prince Edward Island.
That's crazy up there, man.
Yeah. PEI, Prince Edward Island is on the East Coast, isn't it? I think you're thinking of Prince Andrew Island.
You thinking about the old cannery? The old cannery?
No, it was Prince Edward Island, I think, was what I was.
I thought PEI was up near Nova Scotia, but I could be wrong.
Maybe it's Prince of Wales.
That could be it.
Well, that one area, what was it? That one island where the cannery was.
Snell Grove.
That's not an island. That's not an island. That's a a peninsula on the Kenai Peninsula. It's
yeah, I mean,
Port
everybody.
Chatham, Alaska.
Yeah, that place. They can't even no rhyme or reason where everybody disappeared to. I mean, that's crazy.
It is. It's Prince of Wales Island. I just did my
There we
Google too. Yeah. So
Yeah, because I was thinking PEI was up near Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
Again, wow.
All these princes.
I can geography.
I
Well,
can
yeah.
rap.
The bears in Alaska, the brown coastal bears, are one of the biggest bears.
Yeah.
Grizzly types of bears in the world. It is the biggest. The wolves, very aggressive. Yeah, it's true. They are very up there.
Yeah. The only reason I know where west is Pikes Peak is that way. So.
Well, there's a lot of Bigfoot been sighting around Pikes Peak.
Yeah.
There have been Bigfoot and Wendigo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right here in my home of El Paso County, Colorado. So there's been quite a few sightings of stuff up there. So
Well, how many tribes are in Colorado alone by you?
God almighty. Cheyenne, Kiowa, Lakota,
Apache,
Yeah. I mean, you got several tribes.
Navajo.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. So it's a freaking hotbed for cryptid activity out in this area, especially El Paso County up here in the foothills of the Rockies. So, and you go further east in the Rockies, man, or further west in the Rockies, there's a lot of stuff.
Little Patty says best guess to the physical differences between Bigfoot and Gugway. Well, the primary easily noticed is if you look up Beast of Seven Shoots, you can see a pretty clear picture. But the Gugway are reported to have a snout like a mandrill or a baboon. They also tend to be bigger. They have clawed toes and clawed fingers and are extremely aggressive.
Well,
A lot of accounts of Gugway say 3 toes, but I've seen quite a few that have 5. So 3 or 5 toes with the Gugway, claws on the tips of their fingers and toes, face like a baboon.
we don't have those pictures up anymore.
Primal Fury, Primal Rage.
I was gonna say you don't have those pictures up on here. I can
No, I took them
overlay.
down.
Yeah. Yeah, and Gugway are more aggressive. They eat supposedly humans.
Yeah, they're extremely aggressive, and they're 100% carnivorous, like a polar
Mhm.
bear. They don't eat nuts and berries and squirrels.
Well,
They eat
What's
meat.
that? What's that valley with the Headless Valley or whatever?
The Nahanni Valley, the Headless Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in Canada. I want to say I can't remember the name of the national park, but it's in a Canadian provincial park. And the government discourages people from going there. It's not easy to get to. I mean, you've basically got to take a plane or travel very far overland, taking like pack animals. But people that camp there, when they find them missing their heads. All Northwoods, face like a baboon. That's my
I just seen
expectation.
I just seen it. I was like, damn. Oh boy.
Yeah, if I find anybody without their head and I'm in that area, I'm gonna get further real quick.
Time to move along down the road.
Yeah. Look at what time is it, Robbie?
About half past. Get the hell out of
Hell
here.
out of here. Yeah,
Screw this crap clock.
Yeah, it's a big difference. Big difference.
And I think what you have said, DA, too, what we've seen on some of the encounters people have, they almost have a face like a mandrill.
Yeah, like a man.
Very elongated snout. Big canines. Almost like that movie, what was it, Primal Rage?
Yeah, I think it was Primal Rage. Perfect example of a good way.
Yeah.
As Jerry Clower would say, that thing had great big tushes.
Oh, shoot that thing.
This thing?
Knock him out, John.
Yeah, if y'all don't know who Jerry Clower is,
I don't think his humor aged well.
Y'all need to look Jerry Clower up. I used to listen to him all the time with my daddy. He was from Yazoo City, Mississippi.
There's some folks that might not like Jerry Clower these days. Though.
That's true. Yeah,
the coon hunting story
it did not age well.
The coon hunting story is a very good one.
Yeah, I like the coon hunt ones. The coon hunt ones are hilarious.
Yeah, him, Jerry Clower and Mel Brooks movies.
Yeah,
did not
couldn't
age
do it
well
today.
Yeah.
Tanya Willis says, whenever I think about Gugway, I always think about film Bone Tomahawk.
Yes.
That was a great movie, but those were just normal dudes that had that like Mayan death whistle implanted.
That was a
Mayan
disturbing
death
movie.
whistle might come into play at some point in the very near future.
That was a very disturbing movie.
Yeah, I seen it. It was a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. That scene where they split that old dude in half.
Yeah, and that was the part I was like, this is unsettling.
Yeah, it was.
To say the least.
Now, what about those cave? What about the cave dwellers, the giants down in New Mexico?
That was Nevada, Lovelock Cave, Nevada.
Well, yeah.
So was that Sasquatch?
Well, the way the local Indian tribes described them, they described them as red-haired giants.
Yeah.
They didn't say hair covered; they said red-haired giants, which to me is the exact same description they gave of the giants of Kandahar.
Yep. Exactly. 6 fingers, 6 toes.
Yep.
Red hair, and
they were able to recover some of the skeletons of the Lovelock Cave.
Yeah.
In fact, in the museum in Lovelock, Nevada, they had them on display until the Smithsonian wanted to borrow them for study, and they disappeared.
They're gone. They can't find them now.
There are pictures of them on display. Lovelock Cave still has the receipt they received from the Smithsonian, but the Smithsonian claims they had no such record of ever getting a sample from them.
Weren't those a lot of people didn't a lot of people say that they thought those were Nephilim?
Yes.
Yeah.
They do say that. They do say that.
Now, whether or not they are, I can't say. I mean, we don't know. There's not going to be a definitive answer to that anytime soon. But the fact that the description of the giants from Lovelock Cave is almost identical to the description of the Kandahar giants is very, very interesting.
Well, and then you got testimony from 2 special operators and 4 contractors that actually gave lie detector tests that passed, and the pilot from a C-130 that transported it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how all of them can pass a lie detector test if they were bullshitting, but
right.
I
hope Doc is able to talk his buddy into getting us some one of those stories about that cockpit, the footage they were able to take in Afghanistan?
Yes, man.
Is that the one that's from the chopper, Doc?
It's
the one that they got from a black. Oh, no, it's tracking it.
It's from a plane. It's from a AC-130.
Is that the one they were tracking? They actually tracked it.
Yeah.
You know that dude?
Yeah, but right now, I mean, I don't know where the footage is. He didn't know where the footage is, and it was. But I mean, he was a sensor operator, and like me and DA were talking about that, and it was after the Gray Eagle story, the origin story came out.
Right.
It was. I was like, that's exactly what those dudes saw over there.
That's crazy because that's
the description of the Barmanu.
Say again.
Match the description of the Barmanu.
Yeah, dude. I mean, 100%, and it's terrifying. So, I haven't seen the footage or anything like that, but he was like,
I actually sent that article to DA when I first met him. It was in a newspaper. Well, I think it was Military Times.
But here's the thing: I guarantee you, more than one airframe picked that thing up on their FLIR.
Oh God, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They were just probably told to shut up about it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. Let's make this public knowledge. I mean, how long have they been sitting on the freaking UFO knowledge?
Right.
For a very long time.
Right. You know. So.
We just got another super chat from S. Dresden. Hey, thank you, brother. Really appreciate it. He says, in my opinion, too many people survive encounters for these cryptids to be simply predatory animals. I don't think they're all predatory, but I think a great deal of them are, especially when we start involving the missing 411 cases. But I don't think all cryptids are predatory. Now, there are some, like Gugway, I think that pretty much that's a species trait, but I don't think it's a universal trait across Bigfoot. There are lots of encounters where Bigfoot was helpful. Case that immediately springs to mind, and Robbie has researched this case quite a bit, was the little boy that went missing in North Carolina, was gone for 3 days. Said a bear kept him alive and kept him warm and fed him berries. Bear don't do that. Bear do not do that.
Nope.
No.
And bears there's no way a bear could have picked berries and brought it to him anyway. The only way it could have done it was with its mouth.
And Corey Cole brings up a good point. He said, think about how many humans are predatory.
Exactly. There are people out there that are just evil. I have looked it in the face. Robbie's looked it in the face. Doc's looked it in the face. Anthony's looked it in the face. I have seen evil in people. And some people don't want to say that, don't want to think that some people are just pure evil. But the fact is, there are people that are just zero redeeming qualities. And I hate to say that, but when we start talking about pedophiles and people that murder old ladies for their pension money, that is evil. That is irredeemable evil, and you just can't shake that. And once you've looked that in the eye, that kind of evil changes a person. You never really look at the world the same after that.
Gives you a whole different perspective on things, for sure.
Yeah, I know. I went in bright-eyed and bushy-tailed into law enforcement, thinking I was going to change the world and save everybody. But my first encounter with true evil left its mark on me, and it sobered me up pretty fast. And I still went through my career. I never had to shoot somebody, and I thank God that I never did. But I've been through some pretty nasty critical incidents, and I've came damn close to pulling the trigger on a couple people. So yeah, that kind of thing changes a person, and not always for the better.
Amen to that.
I mean, even to this day, I've been out of law enforcement, for a few years now. But even to this day, if the wife and I go out to eat, she knows I can't relax and enjoy my meal if I'm not watching my exits.
You ain't wrong.
True. No, you're true. That's true.
Well, it's like we talked about, man. I alluded to this earlier with all the different, not subspecies, but maybe tribes.
Yeah.
Of the Bigfoot. I truly believe there are some that are peaceful. They're migratory, and there are some that are just they don't care. They're hell bent on killing whatever is not them. Or maybe even what's lesser than them. So that's just the way it is.
Northwood put his comment
I've seen him 24 years working in the jail. Yes, I guarantee you have. I did 10 years behind the walls myself, and yeah, it takes a special breed to be a CO, and my hat is definitely off to you, sir.
I'll be right back, gents. Stand by.
Pork and Bean says, "Can you tell us, DA, if you want, about your first experience with that, on what changed you? If you don't want, I get it. It's one of those discussions that's probably not suited for this kind of forum.
Yeah,
it would be more of a private conversation. I'd be happy to tell you about it, but there's going to be a lot of expletives involved, and the one that really changed me is a little more graphic than I would like to talk about on this forum." So yeah, sometimes if you ever find yourself in Springfield, Missouri, I'll tell you over a cup of coffee or something stronger. But yeah, I don't think this is the place for it.
Oh God! I was gonna say Northwoods made a comment. He goes, I have to put it up to lighten up the issue here. Oh God!
That's like 5 in one night. He's on a roll.
He's on a roll. Yeah, he is. He's going, man. He's throwing them out there. Yep, I know.
T. Willis says, "Whatever you experienced, DA, I'm glad you're still here, and thank you for all your service." Well, thank you very much. The real trooper throughout all this was my wife, Annette, because there's several times in my career she got the phone call, "Hey, you might want to get up to the hospital. He's in the ER." There was a couple of close calls in my career, We'll just leave it at that for this forum. But yeah, I had a couple of really bad ones where she had to come up to the ER to be with me. So yeah, it was an interesting career, and frankly, I miss the people, I miss the camaraderie, but I'm glad I'm out.
Yeah, I was talking about that with my old partner today. I stopped by his house. He lives in the city I work in. And I was just talking about how different it is now versus 15 years ago when he and I were partners.
Yeah. It's law enforcement's changed a lot in the last decade. Really a lot in the last 3-4 years.
Yeah. The last 5 years have been a bigger change than the last 15 years.
And that's all political bullshit, which we know.
And we don't get into politics.
It's all bullshit.
But, just building off what DA said about, people being predators.
Mm-hmm.
Most people, the four of us obviously excluded, because we've talked about it. You got to be wired differently to do what, especially for a long period of time. You get people in law enforcement, you get people in the military, you get people that are in it for a split second. They're in it for a year, and they're like, "Nah, this ain't for me," or they don't make it, or they do something stupid, or they end up on the academy. Yeah, wash out of the academy. But to do it for a considerable amount of time, you have to be wired different. It's just no two ways about it. Y'all three agree with that?
Oh yeah. It's just anything.
And I've said it before. I'll say it again. I'll say it till the day I die. There are three types of people in this world. There are the sheep, there are the wolves, and there are the sheepdogs. Sheepdogs are not synonymous with law enforcement. Sheepdogs are EMS. I hate to put them in there with us, but firemen too, military, law enforcement. Anybody that runs to danger instead of running away from it is wired different and how's that phrase or that little saying, DA? There are those who want to go around and commit violence on people. There are those who really have no clue what violence is. Right. And there are those who have the ability to commit violence, but they choose not to. And that's the best way to describe it that I've found. It's just,
It's one of my favorite quotes from Edmund Burke. It says, people sleep safely in their beds at night only because rough men stand ready to do violence on their behalf.
Right. Yep. And it's the perfect, not to get back into the movie, Boondock Saints.
Love that movie.
Great movie.
When the priest is giving his sermon, the first thing he says in his sermon is that one scripture, there's good men doing evil things to bad people. But
the evil they need to fear the most is of good men who do nothing.
Right. Yeah, that's
the indifference of good men.
The only thing necessary for evil to triumph is that good men do nothing. That's Edmund Burke. Yeah.
And the best quote is from Mad Dog. Mad Dog Maggie's best quote ever. When they asked him, "Do you lose sleep at night?" He goes, "Nope, my enemies lose sleep at night because they're thinking of me." And that's the truth. You put fear into somebody's heart, or they know what's going to come. They're not going to bother with you. That's the whole kit and caboodle. Yeah, it takes a certain, like Robbie says, you have to be wired. Like Uncle John, what he went through in Vietnam. Vietnam was a totally different war than what we had.
Yeah.
He's seen more carnage and craziness over there probably than, all of us combined. I couldn't even imagine. Really couldn't imagine. So.
Amen to that. I got quiet here all of a sudden.
Yeah, we got
cracking Robbie up.
We got on
responders. DA is talking about second responders in the private chat.
Yeah, in the chat, I just seen it. I'm not mentioning it, but anyway.
DA knows what a second responder is.
I'm not even going there with that
That's
one.
funny.
I'd rather have a gardener. I'd rather have a warrior in the garden than the gardener than a gardener in the warrior.
No, I mean look at the samurai. Samurai were the most peaceful.
Oh yeah.
Warriors that walked this earth. I mean, they didn't want. They didn't look for violence.
Hell, let's look at Rambo. He just wanted a Coke and a hamburger, man. Come on.
They drew first blood. They drew first blood. That's right.
He just wanted a Coke and a hamburger, man. He just want to be left alone.
But yeah,
the movie part that gets it for me, that drives home that Warriors ethos, is 300. When
this guy right here, Tyler Marshall, he's a deputy with the county that I used to work for, Greene County.
Yeah.
Worked in the jail with Tyler. We were on the riot team together. I will kick a door with you any day, brother. We have chewed a mile of crap together, and I will kick a door with you anytime.
And before I get back to this, let me answer Steve's question. Yes, in my younger days, before I got my direction in the right way, I was a second responder at one time too. But anyway, going back to that, when Leonidas had his 300, and they go up and they meet up with all the, I think it was the Trojans that they met up with when they were on their way to Thermopylae. And there's like 500-600 Trojans or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And he's like, "This is all you brought?"
Right.
Then he starts asking, "What do you do for a living?" "Well, I'm a potter." "What do you do for a living?" "I'm a carpenter." "What do you do for a living?" And then he goes, "Spartans, what is your profession?" And every one of them.
Oh yeah.
See, I brought more soldiers than you did. But that's what he did with 300. Most people couldn't do with 1,000.
Right. That's the whole thing. When you have that mindset and that spirit in you, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
You're not going to give up.
That's that whole wired different thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people walk. I mean, we've seen it time and time again in numerous accounts, from World War I, World War II to this war now. I mean, well, the last one. There's people out there that do that. Yeah. But like Robbie said, you got to be wired totally different, which you do. You do. You got to have a different mindset, kind of twisted. I wouldn't say twisted. Let me rephrase that.
No, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have you think about it later, or you think about it and you go, man, that was pretty stupid. I could be dead right now. But yeah, I mean, you don't think about it at the time. That's true. That's very true. But anyway,
how this all ties into Bigfoot behavior is
exactly. Another behavior I wanted to mention was what a lot of people report of them smacking the side of houses.
True. I got one for you.
Shoot.
When a Bigfoot shits, does it stick to its fur?
It wipes with rabbits.
I was gonna say. If you guys ever see a little white brown rabbit walking around the woods with a streak on it, now you know. But that's it.
They use rabbits for toilet paper.
That's it. Yeah. Oh God.
Well, I think them smacking the side of houses, and a lot of times it's reported when a woman is alone after her husband's left. I know that happened in Naoma, if she's still with us. It hits the side of the house a lot of times when women are alone. However, they have reports of them doing it while the husband's there. I think that is a deliberate attempt to draw somebody out. Especially if they're, wanting to abduct a woman. There's lots of Native American lore on them coming into camps and stealing women or children.
And S. Dresden just said counting coup.
Yep.
Counting coup. Absolutely.
Well, I can't tell you how many documentaries or articles or things like that I've read where they've talked about like we said, the either a female getting abducted or that was they felt like that's where it was going to. It was, the things were leading up to that. And even Cam even wrote about that in one of the new Steve Lilly's. I can't remember what number it was here, but the woman whose husband died, and help me out, Anthony. You remember this one? And
I don't remember which number it is either.
But yeah, that was a good one because he took a lot of those stories and just compiled it into one, I assume. But that was that's the general thing of it. This thing's sizing people up and seeing what watching their movements and learning, just like we talked about it with the crocodiles the other night. Crocodiles watching people come into the bank or watching other animals come to the bank, knowing when they're building up that memory of when something's coming in there, and then when they least expect it. That's like you said, Doc. That shows that sentience.
They're smart, man, and people think they're people. A lot of people discredit them, and I think that's much to their demise. Is that they think they're some just mindless predator. Dude, they're smart, man. They're super smart. And if you don't think they're super smart, then you're gonna be behind the 8 ball big time.
Yeah. Northwoods Cryptid says, before my encounter, something hit the side of the building and woke me up. At first, I thought it was the idiot in the apartment upstairs, but then I realized the sound came from the wall.
Come here, man. Yeah, that's.
Louis Noriega says, what about the Chinese women when the men were working on the railroad cross country? Yeah, that's something I haven't really thought about. I haven't looked into that. I might have to dig into that more. Luis, were there a lot of abductions reported? Mark Napier says ambush predator. Very much so. Yeah, Kelly Marie's in the house. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for joining us.
This is my grand dog Chester, y'all.
Hey, Chester.
Hey.
He's my number one buddy.
What is he, a dachshund?
Yeah, he's a Dachshund and Beagle mix. We're watching him
He's
for
a Deagle.
our He's a Deagle.
A Deagle.
So his mom is gone, so he's all beside himself right now. Say hey to everybody, Chester. He's pretty awesome. Bless it. Him's all nervous.
I'm just looking at the comments, see what's up, but yeah, they are. They Bigfoot. I don't know, man. They're predator. They're the top predator in the woods.
In their area, definitely.
Compared to us. So that's the truth.
And that's why I think if you go out with the intent of hunting them, you're never going to find them.
Lewis said, according to the reports, yes.
Lewis, could you send me instant message me on Facebook? Send me some of those links. I want to dig into that some more.
What was the story now behind that?
About when they were making the Trans-American Railroad, the Transcontinental Railroad. He said a lot of the Chinese workers' wives would go missing. Yeah, I would like to read some of those reports and look into that a bit more. So if you don't mind, send me a Facebook message with some of those links. I would love to check that out.
That's crazy.
Yeah. What is not surprising, though? Mark Davis's question, why do they follow people? In some cases, I think they're following people to see what we're doing. And in a lot of cases, people that are noticing they're being followed in the woods will get creeped out and leave. So it might be for intimidation. It might be for observation.
Mm-hmm.
Or they might be following you, waiting for you to screw up so they can come in and swoop in for the kill. It's hard to say without us really having one to study. But I would say it's certainly a cautionary behavior. If one is following you, it's well aware of where you are. It may be trying to get you to leave.
Yeah, I felt remember I told you the one that paced me and Johnny when we came out up there. I felt that's exactly what it was doing. It was, it stayed up the hill from us. And when me and Johnny would start walking, it'd start walking with us. As we'd stop, it'd stop. And it right to that gate. Once we crossed that gate, nothing. But up into that gate, it paced us all the way out. And once
I
we
think
crossed that
it
gate,
was very subtly, well, not so subtly, suggesting you extricate yourself from the area.
it was escorting us out of the premises.
It was making sure
Yeah.
you were leaving.
Yeah.
And that's more than, I mean, how many stories have we heard that?
Yeah.
People say
I
that.
mean, you might have been hitting his territorial boundary, Robbie, you know? And it was like, okay, these cats are in our space because we've all talked about this, how they're territorial. I mean, that's why they set up the tree structures. They set up the upside down trees buried in the ground with the trunks up in the air, all this kind of stuff. I mean, the calling, things like that. When people come into their territory, that's how you know.
That's your
Robbie,
question,
Mark
Martin.
Napier wants to know if it vocalized.
No, it didn't vocalize. But you know, I've told these guys this many times in our private talks before and after. Johnny and I walked in there, and the very first thing when I walked in and we crossed that gate and stopped, I looked at Johnny and I said, "Something's watching us."
Mm-hmm. You can feel it.
Yeah,
it's that sixth sense, man.
Mm-hmm. And the whole time we were there, I felt like that until we crossed back over that gate. Once we crossed back over that gate and got back out towards the parking area, it was like. But now the last time we went over there, when it was me and Norman and Johnny, we feel like it was a juvenile because it actually came across that gate because three of us were just sitting there talking. And next thing we know, we think it kind of slipped and slid down the hill a little bit because it was right out there above the parking area, because just felt like, or it sounded like something big kind of falling down the hill about 15, 20 feet maybe. And then it all went quiet. Then we started hearing something over here. And when we turned over this way, whatever was up here got up and ran back up and back around. So it caused, the other one caused a distraction so this one could get away. It was a weird experience. Up until that point, we'd never had anything past the gate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wandok had a good comment. He said, well before I was a CEO, I shadowed and stared at the back of the head of a mall security guy. His supervisor even came out, and I did the same to him. Totally freaked the dude out. You know, I think that's that primitive predator-prey instinct. How many of you have been sitting in a room, and when someone was staring at you, you just felt it?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it's
Spidey
some primitive
sense.
wiring in our brain that, you know, warns us that we're being treated as a prey by another predator. It's a predator-prey response, and I think it's hardwired into our brain. And I don't think it's something we consciously do. Corey Cole says, "How about not believing in them for years and all of those memories of what you now realize were Sasquatch?" Yeah, you know, it's funny you point that out. It's like Anthony was saying with his case. You know, they would notice little things happening around camp and just kind of blew it off.
Yeah.
For years I went camping and I even heard vocalizations and just thought, what the hell was that? Until I started hearing some of the recordings, like the Ohio howl and stuff like that. And looking back, I'm like, wait a minute, that very easily could have been a Sasquatch behavior. And, you know, I've been into Bigfoot for a very long time, but for the longest time, there just wasn't that much out there to learn. What you learned on your own. And when I started noticing like weird sounds moving around the campsite, or, you know, in the dark, or around my tent when I was in it, years later, when I started getting a lot of these accounts from other people that talked about that same kind of behavior, and then they had a sighting, that's what the moment when the crap aligns in your brain, and you're like, oh, that switch flips, and suddenly a lot of things make sense.
True.
Yep.
True. I mean, it's the same thing, like I said, with the you know, hunting, being out hunting. How many times, like I said, you know, just crazy, weird stuff would happen, and we would just blow it off because I didn't believe in it. I thought it was a big joke. You know, you got hairy guys running around the swamp, and the humidity's 100 and something degrees. You know, I mean, I'm like, it's impossible. Come on.
Yeah.
You know, and then when I had my sighting, I kept quiet for the longest time about it because people look at you like you're a nut job.
Right.
So,
James Jenkins, he's one of my old lieutenants. He's retired from Greene County now. He's got a great comment. He says, only cops and crazy people look you in the eye. We can't turn it off when off duty. It bothers people. Yeah, I still do that.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of people uncomfortable for you to look them dead in the eye.
I did that to some guy today I was on a call with. He was looking down. I said, "Look at me." Made him look me in the eye. It's a, it's an alpha thing.
You watch their eyes, you can see a decision made to attack you before they even goes to their hand.
And if you're trying to control a situation, if you see somebody's looking down and you make them look you in the eye, you can, it's an intimidation thing.
It's very, very true. There he is.
There's the doctor.
Hey, Doc.
I go check out my grand dog. He's having a little separation anxiety from his mama.
Oh, that's right. You got him. That's right. They dropped him off. I forgot about that. You were saying that before the show.
Marty's heading to bed. Good night, Marty.
Good night.
Marty.
Good night. Good night. Good night. I knew that was Doc in the bag. I heard the bag crumble in there. I'm like, it ain't DA, it ain't me. What are you eating? Funyuns? Oh, Cheetos.
It's paleo.
Too much. Have you guys heard of the Appalachian Feral people? Yes, we have.
I don't think it's Bigfoot. I think they're just people that have been off the grid for too long. I think they are just what it says, people that have gone feral.
Yeah, and that's what they do. They actually, how many documentations have they had on that? Plenty, right?
Yeah, plenty of documentation. And they've got a similar thing that happens down in the swamps of Louisiana. They call them the night people.
Really?
Yeah. The night people will come into towns at night and take people. A lot of people won't let their kids be out after dark if they live near the swamps because of the night people.
Damn.
Hey, look, Doc, I know you'll back me up on this because you're from Louisiana and I got family from down there. There's some weird stuff down there.
Yeah, there is.
Well, technically I'm from Mississippi, but I was born right on the line. But my mama has a lot of folks down in Louisiana. And, yeah, dude, there's all sorts of folklore down there. But like we've always said, what's that folklore grounded in?
Yeah.
Some sort of reality.
Every myth and legend's got a source.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, we got the rainbow people here. We have rainbow people in the forest. They're like, I guess, hippies.
Whether they paint themselves rainbow color?
I have no idea, but they're called rainbow people here in the forest. Like I was telling you, Robbie, I think.
Yep.
They just appear out of nowhere. I was at a tree stand on public land in the middle of nowhere. This is years ago before I even, I moved here. Right here. They walked right underneath my tree stand. I was like, what the hell? I was like, no, you couldn't find me if you wanted to. And they just walked underneath my tree stand. And I'm like, yeah, there's no cars, no truck around. I'm like, where the hell did they come from? It's like, and they live out in the woods. And, they're a bunch of hippies. They do their drugs. And,
they came from the spirit world, asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
see the size of that chicken?
Yes.
I love that.
She's my
flower. I was going to say that. Yeah. I love that movie. But yeah.
Oh my God.
He's like,
I knew at some point he was going to descend into movie quotes.
Well, it's inevitable. When Robbie and I are here, the movie quotes will abound.
Yep. Speaking of old Western movie quotes, this is kind of an odd segue. I announced this to the Patreons a while back, and I'm going to kind of announce it here. I have a new series in the works that is going to shoehorn in with the others, but it's going to be called Dark Frontiers, and it's about a cryptid hunter just immediately following the Civil War.
Yes.
And the weird thing is when I started doing, I figured what I wanted from the character. I wanted to set it somewhere here in Missouri. So I started looking at the history of the Civil War, and then I wanted to tie in some other things, and some of the historical information I'm finding is just locking in perfectly with what I want. So it will tie into the other series. For those of you who are familiar with my sci-fi series, this character is going to be called Thaddeus Duncan Kane.
Oh, that's How do
I'm
you
down like
stump
a
into
fat kid on a seesaw, son. Come on.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited about it. It's just the series is going to be called Dark Frontiers, and it is going to pick up immediately after the end of the Civil War.
Right.
Oh.
We just got to make sure what period correct weapons and medicinal.
Oh,
things.
I've been pulling the hell out of that. I'm gonna get with y'all, with all three of y'all, because I know it won't be because it's going to be set in 1865, but I want to base characters off all three of y'all.
Give him
Wonderful.
some double sixes like Rooster Cogburn.
Actually, considering who he rode with, he's probably going to be carrying a double set of Griswolds.
Like it.
Good job, bud.
Like it. I can't wait, man. That's going to be freaking awesome, man.
Corey Pulse has always liked the name Obadiah. Well, that might have to be a character in that. I like that name too, Obadiah.
That was one of my best friends in high school. His name was Obadiah. We called him Obi. Yeah. Yep. Good old Obi. That's a good name. So is he kind of like a Josie Wells versus the cryptids?
Kind of, yeah.
Sweet.
I don't want to give away too many details because I don't want a lot of it to be a surprise. But I could see a guy named Obadiah Davis, modeled very much on Doc Holliday.
Why, Wyatt? You do flatter. What's going on in the Meeker, Colorado?
I have no idea. I just seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is going on in Meeker, Colorado?
Please let us know.
Yeah. What's going on in Meeker?
Mark, don't worry. The street howitzer will make an appearance.
Yeah, give us the down low on Meeker.
Is there something we should talk about right now on the show? We can go another hour.
Speaking. Oh, I think I know what they're talking about. The cattle mutilations. All those cattle deaths.
Really?
Yeah, that's in Colorado. One rancher's lost like 40 head. Some of them they believe were some sort of canine, but others don't have a mark on them.
That's crazy.
Really?
Kelly Marie says, DA, when you get a second, can you show us your shirt, please? Sure, absolutely.
Cattle mutilation, yeah.
Yeah, some of them are being identified. They're saying an unknown canine attacked them, and then there are others that just don't have a freaking mark on them.
They use unknown canine a lot.
Yeah, we're hearing unknown canine a lot anymore.
That's fastly becoming the most overused phrase in unidentified attacks.
Well, the thing is we've got a national zoological database that has every known species in the U.S. in it. So if it's coming back unknown canine, it's not in the database.
Right.
So what the hell is it? And if it was any, even a crossbreed of two different canines, it would show up mother this, father this. It's saying unknown canine, which is bizarre.
But they know it's canine.
Some of them have definitely been attacked by what they refer to as an unknown canine. But there's a good number of them. Actually, the bulk of them, they're not finding tracks. But the bulk of them are dead with no marks on them. To me, that's something that's probably incredibly strong, broken neck or something. Only the necropsies are going to tell us what's wrong with them. But so far, they haven't released any information from the necropsies. And for those of you who are wondering what that is, when it involves a human, it's called an autopsy. When it's an animal, it's called a necropsy.
Oh. That's crazy. That is no. Somebody said dire wolf. Well,
yeah, I want to say it's 40 plus head of cattle have been showed up dead so far.
That's
and then you look at what happened to Aaron Eck from the Blondes and Booze. A couple of her horses have been attacked, and one of them had to be put down. But I'm thinking that might be a mountain lion.
Yeah, the face was ripped off of it.
Okay. And then there were some cattle in the area that had their faces torn apart too. To me, that sounds like an old cougar that can't hunt no more.
Yeah.
Well, that's on the cusp of the medicine bow and White River National Forest, where Meeker is. So,
hey Doc, how far are you from a ghost town called Dove Creek?
Doug?
Dove Creek.
Dove.
Like
D-O-V.
Lonesome Dove?
Let me see here. I will let you know. Dove Creek. I don't know if I could type right. Dove Creek, Colorado is roughly 7 hours from me. It's down in near the Four Corners area. It's down in Durango, down near. It's kind of northeast of Durango.
The reason I ask is my maternal great grandfather was named William Hamilton. He was the sheriff of Dove Creek, Colorado. Our family Bible has our family lineage from that point. Actually, that goes a couple generations before that. I don't have access to the family Bible anymore because after my mom passed, it got passed to another member of the family, and long story. But anyway, from what I remember of the family Bible, my great-grandfather, Hamilton, was the sheriff of Dove Creek, Colorado. It lists him and it lists his children, and it lists both of his wives. His first wife died of consumption. His second wife was full-blood Apache. It doesn't say which of the kids were from which wife. It just lists the name of the kids. So there's a good chance there may be some Apache in my lineage. But he was the sheriff of Dove Creek, Colorado, and I would love to go out there and see that place.
Well, it's about 7 hours from here, so we can make it easy in the day.
I'd like to go out there with a metal detector. It'd be nice to find something that, might have belonged to him.
That'd be fun. That'd be a fun trip.
That would be.
See some cool stuff. Maybe see some spooky stuff.
That would be freaking awesome too. We definitely need to go out there and do some filming. I also want to go up to that Girl Scout camp where the Wendigo sightings were at.
Dude.
But then I want to go with a 458 SOCOM. I would love to go with one of those bullpup SOCOMs that your buddy's working on.
Yeah.
He's got what? A bullpup SOCOM.
Well, bullpup 458 SOCOM. I came up with the idea for Margolin and some of the other characters to use in Apex Predator Dark Moon. And I asked Kerry what the probability of it was. So he talked to his buddy. And the guy's like, "Oh yeah, it could probably be done." So I credited his company as the source of the prototypes that Margolin and a few of the others were using.
That would be crazy. SOCOM bullpup. Okay.
Right.
Well, you think about it, they can do an AR-15 in a bullpup conversion. Why couldn't they do a 458?
He's working on it.
But as far as I know, it hasn't been done before.
No, it hasn't. Not one. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, he's working on it.
Corey Cole has a good point. He says, "I raised cattle most of my life. You always have loss. If you got 1,000 head and 40 isn't that bad. But, at $2,000 a steer at the slaughterhouse, roughly, that's a pretty considerable financial loss. But, the thing about it is they haven't really said, other than the ones that they said unknown canine, they don't know what killed the others.
No,
that's the bizarre part.
I was just reading it when you guys were talking it's on the New York Times. They have a video up. I was trying to get the video linked up to share it, but.
Mm-hmm. Well, we got to be careful about sharing video. We got a copyright strike from Discovery last week.
Did we?
What was about 2 seconds of footage on the air?
Yeah.
On what? What was it?
When we showed that video from the crocodile.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was owned by the Discovery Channel, and they copyright struck our video. And
Please.
Noah fixed it. The video's back up, but it was down for a while. Inky says they're about 2 hours away from Bray Road. That's another place on my bucket list where I want to go.
I definitely want to go to. Was it Elkhorn? I think is the name of the town.
Yeah, Elkhorn, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mark Meeker says they're claiming cattle deaths are from chemical hay. That sounds sketchy as hell.
Yeah.
Unless they took a skydiving plane and threw out hay that was poisoned.
Yeah.
Dun-dun-dun. What show, people? Come on. Yellowstone. Geez, you guys are slow. Me and Robbie, the only ones.
I haven't seen Yellowstone. I know a bit about it, but I haven't seen it yet. I'm trying to talk Annette into watching it.
Oh, you're missing a good show. I'm sorry to get off subject, but that even the one with Sylvester Stallone's in,
Yeah,
And
King of
maybe-
Tulsa.
Haven't watched that yet either.
Oh my God, that
Yeah.
show is awesome. I'm sorry. He's got the knack to do shows, that guy. I'm sorry. He's just got,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yellowstone is like Goodfellas with cowboy hats.
Yep, that's
The
exactly what
episode
it
that
is.
made me the Rip fan was the motorcycle gang.
Oh yeah.
What he did to that motorcycle gang, I
Yep.
was like,
Dig a
yeah.
hole. Dig a hole.
Yeah, Rip ain't one to be trifled with.
No.
Yeah, but that's an awesome show. But anyway, yeah, cattle dying from hay that's exposed to being poisoned. Okay.
Well, it was in the show it was alfalfa because it was not time for
Right. It was bloating the cows. That's
Yeah.
what it was doing.
Inky says Kettle Moraine is another spot in Wisconsin with Dogman sightings. Yeah, I'd love to check that out. I've got a buddy that lives up near Brainerd, Wisconsin, and he told me that there's weird shit goes on around his house all the time.
Okay. I'm looking. Meg says to look at her comments. I'm trying to find her comments, Meg. I'm sorry. I'm trying to catch up. I mean, sorry. Oh, the pictures. Okay. Seen the pictures of mutilation online. I saw them for myself. I'm trying to see if I can find them, but I can't.
Okay.
So,
Well, maybe we'll do a show about the cattle mutilations later, because it's not just happening there. There are cattle mutilations that are reported almost constantly. Livestock being killed around Taylor, Mississippi, where the siege of Lockett Ranch supposedly happened. There are animal mutilations around LBL. There's some animal mutilations here in Missouri that they're saying might be the Ozarks howler. So there's animal mutilations and farm livestock all over the place.
yeah, that's true. There is. I mean, nobody knows. But if they're coming up with an account that's saying it's an unknown canine, I mean, that's pretty crazy too. I mean, I don't know where, I can't find it where it says unknown canine. I wish I could, but I mean.
Well, we'll do a deep dive on it later.
Yeah, I'd be interested in what the wildlife officers have to say about that, what their reports say, because if that's the Freedom of Information Act, then you could find the reports.
Doc, it might actually be in your local news.
It could be.
Yeah, it's true. Very true.
Very true. Yeah, we'll do a deep dive on that later. Any other Bigfoot behaviors, you guys?
Not that I can think of.
Good?
No.
I think we covered most of the main ones that. So we did Knox.
Hell, we're going on 3 hours almost.
Yeah, we're getting close.
It's about time to pee on the fire and call in the dogs.
Yeah, I think you're you're correct there. But I think it's very interesting that I'm finding multiple corroborating sources that are saying the tree structures where the trees are bowed are near areas with a lot of medicinal plants. And I find that very interesting. That's something I'm going to dig in more. I'm going to talk to some more people that I know that research here in the Missouri area. And maybe some of the researchers like Marty and the Florida Bigfoot researchers we know, see if they've noticed that, tell them what plants to look for and see if they've noticed anything like that. But it's weird how some of these things correlate. And just over time, we're starting to learn more and more details. And I do think it's a matter of time until the government has released enough where they can just go, well, see, we told you. Because I think they've been doing soft, what we call soft releases or soft admissions. I think they've been doing it for a while. Like the Ohio videos, the Ohio Department of Natural Resources videos, where they're talking about what to do during a Bigfoot encounter, how a lot of trailheads are being marked with warnings about Sasquatch activity in the area. We are seeing a lot of soft disclosures. Much as the same as they are very quietly doing it with UFOs, I believe they're doing it with cryptids. I don't think they're ever going to do the smoking gun and just go, this is what we know. I don't think that's ever going to happen. But I think little by little, they're going to start confirming that these creatures exist. for those of you who don't know, after the incident at Bluff Creek where the Patterson-Gimlin footage was filmed, the FBI launched an investigation into the sighting at the request of a couple of California senators. The FBI in 2019 released that report. If you can find it online, it's not difficult to find. It's highly redacted. A lot of stuff has been blacked out. But at the end of the report, if you can slog all the way through it, the FBI admits, while we did find enough evidence to believe this creature exists, we believe it's dead.
Yeah,
to me, that's a soft admission. They're saying there's enough evidence to say it existed, but saying that one's dead is ridiculous because there couldn't have been just one from all these sightings all across the globe. There's more than one of these creatures. So, in my book, the FBI just said, yeah, they exist, but we're not gonna say there are more out there.
Right. They're not gonna confess to it. Let it go on and on.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Mo Better says, aren't the bent trees aligned in a specific direction? Not always. I think some of the tree structures may be directional markers or territorial markers, but the archways, we're still trying to figure out what those are for. But I think it's weird. We're finding multiple correlations here in Missouri where those arched formations correlate to large plant populations of medicinal plants.
Well, like everybody says, the archways, and I'm not getting, me, I'm not getting into the woo-woo, are portals to other dimensions. Yeah. But, that's what they believe. God bless them.
Yeah. Oh, everybody wish Tombstone's wife a happy birthday. It's her birthday.
Oh, I guess, happy birthday.
I guess later today there because it's tomorrow over there.
Yeah.
She goes by Nexima, so everybody wish her a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Oh, Brandy's on.
Hi, Brandy.
Well, Brandy, you're on late too. Yeah.
James Fedecky's in the house. Thanks for joining us, man.
Right, we still got 113 people on.
Holy moly. We're coming up on the 3-hour mark. Still got 113 people watching.
Well,
that's awesome.
We had 145 at the middle of the show.
Yeah. James had a good question. He says, DA, do you think the screaming behavior as female was possibly trying to mate? Maybe. It's impossible to say, but there were a lot of videos out there. One of my favorites is one floating around of a trucker who recorded screams that were very close when he was parked asleep for the night. I'll see if I can find that video and share it on my Facebook pages. If you can find that video, share it on Team DA and the NADP site. Mondoc says, hey, did you catch the picture I sent? Yeah, I'll show it to the guys after the show. I didn't want to put it up on the show because it would be nobody would get it.
Right, Blonde and Booze are on. Hey guys.
Hey, how's everybody going? Thank you guys for joining us. Yeah, you were coming up on the 3-hour mark. We're going to start kind of winding down. Another round. I want to do shameless plugs for our affiliates. Want to say a big shout out to the good folks over at Scallywag Tactical, who now have a scratch and dent. Basically, it's called the blemish sale. They have a bunch of their high quality blades on big sale because there might be a blemish to the box or a minor scratch on the knife itself. Go over and check out Scallywag Tactical. You can either use the link below or you can go to scallywagtactical.com and use discount code DARoberts10 at checkout to get 10% off your purchase, and which is a huge savings if you're ordering from the blemishes because some of those blemishes are less than half price.
Yeah, they are, guys. We looked at them before the show. You wouldn't believe it.
So y'all head over to scallywagtactical.com. When you do your checkout, use the discount code DARoberts10. You'll get 10% off your order, and there's a comment section when you're placing the order for like special instructions. Give them a shout out and tell them you DA Roberts, the DAX Machina crew sent you. Because just let them know that we were mentioning them, and we Let them know we sent you so they know where you came from. And that leads me to our other great sponsor, the affiliate program that we have with the good folks over at Dark Angel Medical.
Oh,
or
that
Tiny
guy?
Angel
Jesus.
Tiny Angel Medical.
We still dealing with him? Oh, God.
Yeah, you can use the link right there, tinyurl.com/3KAMM63Z. It's also be popping up in the chat here shortly. Use the discount code CRYPTID25 for 25% off your order, which is the largest discount they give anywhere. And in the comments, mention Team Odin or Codename Wild Hunt, and you can get a little Team Odin rocker on your kit.
Yeah.
Best kits in the business, folks. I have risked my ass on many occasions, knowing with the firm knowledge I had one of those kits on me. I wouldn't carry another kit. They are just the best in the business. And if you ever have to use it to save a life or even your own, document it, send the kit back to Dark Angel. They will resupply the kit for free for life. It's called the Kit for Life Guarantee. They are the best kits in the business.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate
Somebody
you.
made a comment that we were going to have a show Christmas Eve. I'm not going to be here.
No, we won't have a show Christmas Eve because my family and my wife's family, we have Christmas Eve with my family and Christmas with hers. So I will be in the butt crack of Missouri outside a little town called Nebo at my brother's farm on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
I don't know how late we'll be getting back, so I can't say we'd be having a show on Christmas Eve.
I'll be MIA too, so.
When the directions are take a left at the kid picking the banjo, you know you're in the middle of nowhere.
So, yeah, I'll be MIA too for a couple of days. So, it's the holidays, people. I don't think so.
Yeah, no show on Christmas Eve, but I'm pretty sure we're going to do one on New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah. Yep. Oh, yeah. What time is it?
But we'll have a show on Wednesday night, just not going to have one on Christmas Eve, folks. Big Merry Christmas to everybody. Thank you guys for joining us. We've had an amazing time tonight. Still got 115 people hanging out with us at 2 hours and 50 minutes into the show. We've had a fantastic time tonight. I want to thank William Nighthawk for spending time with us until his internet crapped out on him. But always a great time when we've got William on the show. He's such a wealth of information. He brings a great perspective to the field. I really appreciate the Native American perspective on cryptids because their knowledge of these creatures goes back far longer than our ancestors were even on this continent. So, yeah, it's a wonderful wealth of information anytime we've got William on the show. I know each and every one of you guys have probably got holiday plans all your own. I just want to say wherever you go, wherever you're traveling, be safe. Travel carefully, come back and spend time with us. And we wish you guys all the best for not only for Christmas, but for the new year. You guys got anything to add?
No, just Merry Christmas. Everybody be healthy
Merry
and safe.
Christmas.
Just be safe this year.
Want to give a big shout out to all our moderators because they were kicking butt and taking names tonight. Moderators have done a fantastic job. Thank you guys so much. Also want to shout out to all the patrons over at the Patreon community. You guys' love and support has helped keep the home fires burning. I will be posting some more stuff over on the Patreon probably in the next day or two. I'm very close to finishing a short story called Demons. It's part 1 of 2 parts. Demons 1 and 2. There's a Margolin origin story that talks about what brought Margolin to the team. So I think you guys are going to enjoy that. I've been having a lot of fun writing it. Margolin's a fun character, so I think you guys are going to enjoy this story. That story, Demons Part 1, will debut on the Patreon community before it appears anywhere else. Just kind of a big thank you to all the patrons and supporters over at the Patreon community. And you can be a part of that, as well as be a part of what the future projects are coming, helping shape the future of the DA universe. You can go over and check that out at patreon.com/DARobertsAuthor. I would love for you guys to join the community over there. You will get advanced screenings of short stories, notice of when books are coming out, input on character development. You'll get input on cover details, and you'll even see like the back cover blurb and previews of the covers long before they hit anywhere else. So hope you guys will check out the Patreon community because I certainly appreciate the support. again, hope you guys have a wonderful holiday. Thank you guys so much for spending your Saturday evening with us. Again, big shout out to our good folks over at scallywagtech.com, discount code DA Roberts 10, and the amazing folks over at Dark Angel Medical, discount code Cryptid 25. Yeah, check those kits out. They are the best in the business. So whatever you're going to do this holiday, whether you're going to visit family or you're going to go someplace special for the holiday, or even if you're just going to go out, looking for cryptids in the woods, because Bigfoot needs Santa too, I guess. Just be safe, be careful, be prepared. If you're going to be traveling, especially if the weather's cold, make sure you put some blankets and some basic provisions in the back of your car, because getting stuck in the middle of nowhere, it gets cold quick. Guys, be safe, be careful, be good, be good to each other, and thank each and every one of you for joining us tonight. Hope you guys have an amazing Christmas, Yule, whichever, whatever, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. Hope you celebrate it in your family as well. And hope to see you guys joining us this Wednesday night and again in the new year. And thank you guys, each and every one of you, for being part of the DAX Machina Nation. You guys are family to us. We are damned happy to have you. And we wish you guys nothing but the best. I've said it before, I'll say it again. We don't have fans, we have friends. So welcome to the DAX Machina Nation. Thank you guys. Hope you guys have a wonderful holiday, and we are out of here. Good night, everybody.
Night, y'all.
Thank you for joining us. Catch us again Wednesdays and Saturdays on DAX Machina. A special thanks to all our channel members and Patreon supporters. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe.